All right. All right, guys, we're here. We're here. Bojanglecheck, Namajunas. They're gonna be getting back in it. And guys, we're gonna stay on this live stream until 9 o'clock. But I gotta cover. I'm covering Invicta. So I'm gonna get off of this live stream. At exactly 9 o'clock because a couple of you guys asked, especially I can't remember my man's name, but definitely said, Coach, could you cover some Invicta? And I said, of course. Always cover Invicta. Invicta, Shannon Knapp. Coach Shelton Harrison rode strong with Shannon Knapp. Okay, strong. And we're going to have my boy Full-Time MMA. He's going to join us tonight for 1 hour. We're going to be in here, okay? And we're going to cut it off appropriately, okay? Because, Invicta Championships will be here. Well, they are here. Just got through watching Dillian White versus Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown got his PG-13 channel whoop, okay? Lucas Brown got beat up. And I'll be looking at some of the Invicta, and me and Full-Time MMA will go through some of the topics. And of course, there'll be some of the topics. Full-Time, if you're listening, I've already sent you the link. So definitely, man, we're ready to go. You just link in and, bro, we're going to have a day with it. That's what it is. Yeah. But I'm covering Invicta, and I'm also going to do this live stream at the same time. 10 of y'all in the house right now. All right, folks. Well, we got some great topics. We're going to go ahead and cover this. And, since it's primarily a women's MMA channel, we're definitely going to go and start with Bojanglecheck first, okay? Namajunas versus Bojanglecheck 2. That's going to be a good fight, man. That's going to be a great fight. I'm ready for it. I'm stoked. It's coming to fruition, man. And next weekend, no, not this weekend. How do I got to wait 2 more weeks till I see Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Herriq. Okay, Full-Time. Good. I see you. I've already sent you the link. Now go to your email and just click on the link, and we can get this thing cracking, man. And then at 9 o'clock, I'm going to cover Invicta. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm always showing the lady love. Just click in and check your email Full-Time. Let's get in it. Tay Brown. Tay Brown. All right, Tay. You're here first. Let me know if you want to come join us. Me and Full-Time, we're going to be in here. There's a live stream. There's a channel. This for the subscribers, man. This is for the subscribers. Okay. Full-Time, check your email. I think you're doing that right now. There is a link. Okay. There's a link in your email. You go ahead, you click on that link, and you invite yourself into the Hangout, and that's it. That's all you do. It's just that simple. Tay Brown, let me know if you want in. Okay. Yep, TC, I see Invicta. I see. Okay, he's here. Full-Time, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good, man. What's up? Taco Bell Wani in the building.
Man, finally got the man on, man. Guys, Full-Time MMA is on. Y'all can't believe this, man. Dang.
What's going on, Coach?
Hey, man, this is good. This is good stuff. Oh, man. I'm a fan of the channel, man. I watch the videos. You hella funny, man. You funny as hell, man.
Fan.
Yeah, man. It's funny as I don't know what, man. We'll be joined by a couple of people, man. Hey, if there's any other topics, hey, man. Who? Oh, wait. You
Troll
see
Buster?
Troll Buster. I wonder if he really busts trolls.
Oh yeah, he be busting them up in the comments.
Really? Oh yeah. You got those guys that. But you got the same trolls I got, man. That what they say? Your videos are shit. And then, you kind of want them to make a video. They'll make a video,
I like my trolls, man. They gave me the nickname Taco Bell Wani. I love the name.
They gave you that day?
Yeah, Taco Bell Wani.
Oh, hey, man. I don't know what my trolls call me. Hell, they probably call me all kind of shit, man. Who knows? But I love them to death. Sir. I roast them, man. But yeah, man, we can add any other topics you want to add to it, man.
Okay, I got one for you. Let's just saw this right before we hopped on. Did you see that Valentina Shevchenko's sister got signed to fight for Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series this summer?
No, man, I did not.
Yep. It was reported by a Brazilian person on Twitter, but I've seen it on like the MMA Reddit. Yeah. So Valentina, what's her name? Antonina Shevchenko. She's going to be fighting on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, I believe, in June.
Hey, man. See, I'm not familiar with that Brazilian paper, man, but I could ask our manager, man.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I could ask the cat, man. He come on here pretty regularly, man. Good dude, man. Good dude. I'm telling you, real good dude.
Is he also Valentina's manager? I think I saw the last interview you did with him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the same manager.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw your last interview with him.
Yeah, he'll tell you, man. He'll tell you if it's a Brazilian paper. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I believe what you're saying. If she gonna be on danger, so that means that yeah, man, she about to be in the UFC, man. But you know, he was saying that she was also gonna try to move down to flyweight. So that's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, I don't know much about her sister. I think it said she was 3-0 as a professional right now. But I usually watch that Contender series. I watched the last season, which was the first one. Did you check out the Contender series at all?
No, man, I hadn't checked it out this year. No.
Okay, maybe you'll
wait,
check.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. I watched one episode.
Okay.
I watched one episode, man, and then I went back, man, because I cover mostly the females on here. But see, with Antonina, I should have known that, man. But hey, man, I don't know. I didn't know, man. But bro, if she do that, I'm happy as hell because I'm a Valentina fan. I'm an Antonina fan. You know, they good people, man. They're real good people.
Yeah, I like Valentina too. I'm a big fan. I don't know much about her sister. I have to admit, though.
Man, Antonina is like the more aggressive
Sure
out of the two, man. Yeah, she a beast, man. You know, her background is Muay Thai, man, and that's her bread and butter. But she did she actually took a fight against this girl named Anissa Hadawi. That was her last. No, she fought this lady named Valerie Demerge, and then she fought Anissa Hadawi. She got a lot more MMA fights than that, but the ones you don't see on Sherdog and you know what they call Awakening Fighters, they don't put some of her bouts on there, man. But she's had a lot of fights, man.
Okay.
Girl's experience, man. Man, so okay. So now, what do you think gonna happen, man? Like, what? So let's say Antonina in bantamweight, man. Let me just get your opinion, man. How do you think she fares in the bantamweight division against some of those heavy hitters?
Man, honestly, if she's Valentina Shevchenko's sister, as long as she's got the size, I don't know. Hopefully, she's a little bigger than Valentina because I think that was Valentina's thing at 135. Like, as far as skills, she's probably the most skilled fighter at 135 pounds. But she's a natural flyweight, I feel like, and she's going to show that, at 125 pounds. But I don't know enough about her sister. But if she's got the skills of Valentina Shevchenko, I think she's going to do well, at least top 15 for sure.
Yeah, she's skillful, man. She's extremely skillful. Good counter puncher. She's more or less gonna press forward and throw more offense than Valentina. And Valentina is a better counter puncher of the two, but Antonina is gonna throw them strikes, man. She gonna hit you hard off, and she gonna just come straight ahead. But she has a good defense too. But girl's aggressive, man. She's strong and aggressive, and yeah, man, she gonna make some noise in that bantamweight division when she come.
Sounds fun. And, on the Dana White's Tuesday night Contender series, like only one or two people each show get a contract. You have to have an entertaining performance. So it sounds like she's going to have some fun fights.
Yeah, but man, they going to give her a contract. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
They got to, man. They don't sign her, man. Something wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Something wrong. Well, shoot, man. Okay, so okay, let me ask you one more question, man. Then, boy, I gotta skip over a topic and get your thoughts on this Khabib Ferguson, because that's I know you've been covering them guys pretty heavy, man. And I know you've been waiting on that fight.
I think a lot of people, man, that's the fight. I mean, I know if you're focused more on WMMA, but Khabib Ferguson, man, that's like ideal. And like the dynamic of the fight before right now, it's like everybody's just, it seems like a majority, 90% of the people are just expecting Khabib to dominate Tony Ferguson. But Tony Ferguson's one of those guys, and, as far as on the ground, his plan of fighting Khabib back from the ground, we haven't saw that yet. So the matchup is exciting. The rivalry is exciting. The history, I mean, it's the lightweight title. As soon as one punch gets thrown, Conor McGregor is stripped officially. Like, just everything about that fight, I can't wait for it.
Man. Yeah, I think Khabib during Khabib is rough, man. I mean, did you see what he did to Edson Barboza, man? He took that guy heart, man. Took his soul, took his heart. And Edson fought. He fought, man, but he couldn't do nothing with Khabib, man.
Yeah, he made a lot of people rethink tapping the strikes. Like, man, maybe it's worth it.
Oh man, you gonna make some Joanna Jedrzejczyk fans mad, man. Oh man, come on, don't get these dudes started. Yeah. You know what? I don't care. You can go ahead and get them started.
I didn't even. You took it there, Coach. Not me.
Yeah, man. Them guys get mad at me a lot. I make fun of them guys, man, because they get mad at me for picking it. I don't really pick at them, man, but you know, she said she didn't tap the strikes. That's what Joanna said. You know, and I'm like, well, dang, man. It kind of looked like she tapped the strikes. I mean, it looked like it, you know?
Yeah, man. And I went back and watched the replay. Like, she technically did, but she tapped twice. So I think the fight was stopped by TKO. It's like, if you look at her record, I don't think it says submission, tap the strikes. But like, whenever you look the replay in slow mo, she was ready to get out of there for sure.
Hey, man. Man, that's kind of mean, man. I mean, you kind of said it, man. I'm laughing. Damn, you got me laughing, man. Hey,
I mean, but it is what it is. It's not like she, you know, I'm not saying that like she was just a quitter or she's weak or nothing for it. It's just once you're caught, you're caught. You know, if you're in a bad position, sometimes it's time to get out of there. I mean, I don't think Joanna's like a pussy or nothing for tapping. I'm not the guy to say you're a pussy for tapping the strikes. You know, that's more of a fighter's argument. I think if you're in a position, like if you're in a crucifix, you know, like Priscilla Cachoeira, I think sometimes it's just time to get up out of there. Maybe it's your corner, even if you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just time to get up out of there.
Man, I'm messing with you, man. I just wanted to hear you break it down. I'm sorry, man. I got a sense of humor, man. But yeah, man, I just want to hear you break it down, because man, you broke it down completely, man. Oh man, but did you hear Priscilla Cachoeira, man? You know, she wants to have a rematch with Valentina, man. So what you think about that?
Oh, I did not hear that. That's a joke. To me, that's like trolling. like she's joking. Like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Respect on her name for saying that if that's true, but I don't think the world is ready for that. I don't know.
And dude, she got mad. She got mad at us on this channel, man. She got pissed at us, and even some of the people that comment, she got mad at us, man, because we just kind of agreed, man, that her corner should have maybe stopped that fight, man. Priscilla came out on social media, was like, and you know, to all the people that saying I should have, you know, my corner should have gave up the fight. Well, you know, we don't believe in that. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, but yeah, Valentina about beat her 1 inch of her damn life, man.
Yeah, I was there was this guy that he doesn't pay attention to MMA very much at all, but he just so happened to catch that fight, and he caught the Khabib fight first, and he was talking about like when you're in that type of situation, he said, man, I would have been telling my corner, get me out of there, and he said if he had hit me one more time, I'd have had to go and get the gun. Man, forget that. You ain't just gonna get down like that in front of everybody. I was like, yeah, but these are fighters, they got a different mentality. And I mean, yeah, I don't think Priscilla, like Guitar Babe said, I don't think Priscilla can be serious with that. Not only she says she wants a rematch, but she's like happy her corner. And you know, sometimes, you know, if that could be a fighter's mentality. You know, she might not just be aware of like brain damage and stuff like that, but you know, and what it can do to her future. But sometimes you got to save a fighter from herself, especially if she's talking like that. Man, wanting a rematch? Whew.
She got her ass whooped, man. Look, man, she took ass whooping to another level, man. I mean, you go try to find that on the dictionary, they're gonna have a big ass picture of Priscilla Cachoeira, man, and they're gonna have her ass whooped, man. I mean, man, she got beat in the middle of the octagon, on the side of the octagon, on the ground in the octagon, man. When they finally let her back up, man, it looked like she was having like a flashback to getting her ass whooped, you know, going back to the corner. I'm like, that was an ass whooping, man. I mean, man, have you ever seen Valentina beat somebody up like that before?
No, man, I don't think I've seen anybody beat anybody up like that before. No. But one interesting thing about that fight was the referee. It was Mario Yamasaki, and
man,
he was like coming off of that performance with Kevin Lee and Michael Chiesa, where everybody was giving them slack and saying it was an early stoppage. And so it's like, part of me was wondering, like, is he letting this fight go on just because people were like calling him an early stopper? Like, you don't want to stop the fight too early, but damn.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I thought he stopped the fight with the Kevin Lee fight. I thought he did, you know, what he's supposed to do, man. Because I thought Kevin Lee was done for, man. I thought he was done. I'm not sure. I thought he was done.
Michael Chiesa, yeah, I thought he went sleep.
I'm sorry, Michael Chiesa.
I watched the replay. You can set the slow, you know, to 0.25, like on how slow you watch it, you know, super slow motion. And it's like he stopped fighting the hands. And then, like, if you listen to Michael Chiesa, he said afterward, I was going to, like, try and tuck my neck in, you know, to defend it. Like, I wasn't going to fight the hands anymore. And it was like, if you watch it in super slow motion and normal mode, it looks like he was on his way out of there, like asleep. But, I mean, everybody was saying that it was an early stoppage, and so it was just crazy that he happened to be the guy in the Valentina Priscilla fight. But Dana White said we're never going to see him again after that. That'll be interesting if we see. That's crazy. I've never heard like a referee actually be like banned like that.
Man, look, he the referee, man. If you want, even though if you want a fighter you don't like to get beat up, man, hey, you got to get Mario Yamasaki in there. You got your fighters you don't like. I got fighters I really don't like very much. So I be hoping, man. I hope Mario Yamasaki the referee, man. Dang, So I'm not a big Joanna Bojangles. Joanna. I'm not a big Joanna fan, man. So
you want to see Yamasaki in the rematch,
man. Rose was gonna get in there and tear that up, man, and they stopped the fight. I was wanting Joanna to take a couple more blows, man, but dang it.
No, yeah. Even if they wouldn't have stopped the fight, she wouldn't have took a couple more blows, because if they wouldn't have stopped the fight, the taps would have went up. They were stopping the fight whether they chose to or if they saw the taps.
Yeah, bro. Man, she was a Bojangles was out, man. You know what? I think because she just said, well, I don't think I tapped. I don't tap. And I'm like, yeah, you did tap. You did tap. But I think she got hit so hard that she didn't know that she was actually tapping. Like, I think that's how hard she got hit. Like, man, she got tapped back into her youth, man, where somebody may have choked her out and she thought she was getting submitted, man. Like,
yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Kind of like, when Daniel Cormier got knocked out by John Jones, and he was saying, I didn't remember anything. I didn't remember crying. I didn't remember the speech. You got hit so hard, you don't know what's going on. So she could have been out of it, down there, out of it, tapping, not even realizing it. Man. And so she didn't think she tapped. She didn't remember tapping.
Okay, let me ask you this, man. Who do you think wins the rematch, man? Because you got a lot of analysts, man, and you even got the odds makers. But I kind of get why the odds makers are saying this. But you got some analysts, some fans saying that they think Joanna is going to pull off this, going to win. I mean, what do you think, honestly?
Hashtag and nude. No, man, I got to admit, I have Khabib and Joanna winning, but the more that I listen to your channel, like the more I'm like, man, and I see a lot of people do that just like I feel like some people think Joanna's chopped liver, and I feel like she's beat all the other, aside from Rose Namajunas, Joanna beat Jessica Andrade, who's been looking incredible. She's already beat like all the top contenders at 115. So I just think Joanna's still one of the best fighters in the world. And maybe Rose has her figured out, training with Valentina and stuff like that. And so I'm not counting Rose out, but I just understand why Joanna's the favorite just from what she proved in her last 5 or 6 title defenses. But I gotta admit, you guys are kind of making me doubt my pick.
I'm gonna tell you, man, the reason why, because I picked Joanna the first time, man, and so I was wrong. I was like, dang, what happened? But then like Roger, he kind of brought it. He was like, look, man, he said, you got to understand, for 22 weeks, Rose been training with some high-level strikers, okay? And there's nothing that Joanna's going to do that Rose hadn't already seen. Like, this is him. And if you're doing that for 22 weeks straight, and you got to understand what it is, to fight at the Shevchenko camp, man. See, they smile. They smile and grin. But see, if you slacking off behind the scenes back there, man, they in your face, man. They in your face. They whooping your ass all over the place while you're in there. So you think for 22 weeks you got Valentina blacking your eyes, marking up your legs, in your face. I mean, talking cold, harsh PG-13 channel to you. I'm talking about killing you, man. Putting you through physical and mental. I'm talking about all the stress you can handle. For 22 straight weeks, every day, you got to get up. And if you don't come, Valentina going to call you out. Where you at? Wait. His training, it starts at 6 a.m. It's 6:15. Where you at? She going to call you out. She going to call you out. Let's go. And there's nothing. And then you got, Valentina, who just beat Joanna, man, like 3 times before when it was just, they were just doing Muay Thai. She beat her. And it's like, I don't know, man. Rose unseen that all. And I don't know, man.
It kind of reminds me of like Dominic Cruz versus Cody Garbrandt, because it's like Team Alpha Male fought Dominic Cruz so many times. Eventually they're going to figure out the puzzle. Like, man, I was this close if I zigged when I should have zagged. Like now, they're training Cody Garbrandt. Like, look, zig instead of zag, and you're going to get him. And that's why Cody Garbrandt came out and was breakdancing on Dominic Cruz, and everyone was like, what? You know, people expected Dominic Cruz to win, and it's like Cody Garbrandt embarrassed him. And it's like, if you think about it, he's got all these Team Alpha Male guys that have fought him so many times. So it's like Valentina Shevchenko, you know, she can beat Joanna. So I didn't know the extent of how much Rose was training with Valentina. I didn't know if it was just, you know, she stopped by for like a week or so, if she was doing her like whole camp, like you're saying, like a Valentina Shevchenko whoop Joanna's ass boot camp. I didn't know how much the extent, but I mean, if she's training with Valentina like that, then yeah, I mean, she's probably going to win the rematch too.
It's just, man, and you know, Rose up there training with her now, man. Like, they training now. They in Colorado right now as we speak. They training. And that's all they doing, man. These people eating, sleeping, pooping, and then they coming back to train again. And they doing it day in and day out, man. You know, I'm a believer now because Roger kept telling me, he kept saying, look, he said, Rose is going to beat Joanna impressively. I said, man, you smoking, you know. I need some of that. Pass me some of that kush. I need some of that good stuff. He said, listen, man. He said, I promise you. He said, Rose is going to go in there. She's going to show you something she's never seen. And sure enough, man, as soon as Rose knocked out Joanna, he texted me, okay, who's your daddy? I told you. Like, and it's like, but he knew, man, because he'd been there for 22 weeks. He'd been watching Rose Namajunas just evolve, man. The talent that was already there, because, you know, she got a boyfriend, Pat, that's been helping her and doing a lot of stuff. But then you get Pavel in there, you get Antonina, you get Valentina, and they're all imparting all this knowledge and wisdom. And then you get in serious rounds and working there with Valentina and Antonina. You got JJ Aldridge there. You know, it's so many fighters there that you working with, man. You know, and I got thinking about it. I said, you know what? I didn't think about that. I really didn't think about it. So I'm like, damn, man, Joanna might get, man. Yeah, I think she's gonna get her ass whooped, man.
Yeah, and see, the more I hear stuff like that, the more I'm like, man, I think so maybe Joanna is one of those cases where Joanna can like beat everybody else, but you know, Rose training with Valentina, I think that might be what's doing it. So yeah, man, the more I sit here and we talk about it, the worse I feel about my pick, man.
but I'm not gonna bash Joanna completely because you know, for somebody, man, to be like really one dimensional like Joanna, it's impressive, man, that this girl nearly cleaned out the whole division with just her striking. And you know, in MMA, you know that's almost unheard of. Like you got to be able to wrestle a little bit. You know, you got to be able to at least, you know, clinch or, you know, dominate a clinch position. Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to do something. Joanna did it purely striking, man. Like that's impressive. Could you imagine if Joanna Jedrzejczyk had any kind of ground game, or if she utilized her ground game? Could you imagine what she would do? Like how dominant she would actually be if she could do that?
Yeah, it'd be insane. Dominant force.
Man, Joanna is an athlete, man. She a good athlete. It's like, man, but you know, I was like, man, this woman cleaning out the division. She kicking. I mean, she punching and kicking. That's what she did. I mean, did you see the number she did on Carl Esparza, man?
Yep. I know it was crazy. What was like 125 or so, or 200 and something. I don't remember exactly which one, but I know I look at her fight metrics on like, and it's crazy like how much she outstrikes people. I think I've looked at it recently. I can't remember which one that was though.
And then, man, she beat Jessica Andrade, man. It's like she went in there and completely dominated Jessica Andrade, and I'm like, I've never seen anybody. I saw Maureen Renault, I saw Rocky Pennington, but they were bigger than Jessica, much bigger. But I never saw another strawweight do that to Jessica. None, man. So Joanna got them tools, man. But you know, would she be willing to really go, man, and actually go that extra mile to maybe to get her black belt and BJJ? That's my question.
Yeah, I think Rose said she plans on submitting her this time.
Man.
Yep.
My girl Tay Brown is in the house. Tay Brown, what's going on?
What's up, Tay?
How you doing? How you doing?
Guys, we got Tay.
My team Cyborg shirt.
Okay.
Cyborg Nation.
Yeah, don't forget, go subscribe to Full Time MMA, man. Good channel, man. I'm subscribed to the channel. I support it. It is a good channel, man. I enjoy it. Funny, but it's got a lot of insight.
I follow you too.
I appreciate it.
No doubt.
So Tay, what you think about these upcoming fights? Because you know we ain't got a lot going on until you know, not this weekend, but I'm watching Invicta as we talk. So I'm multi-talent. I'm watching Invicta.
What channel is that on?
Invicta, it's on UFC Fight Pass.
How do I get that?
Go to the UFC website. and you just get, I think it's what, $7.99 a month, something like that, something ridiculously cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to go to the Barclays Center to see the Rose versus Joanna, because I'm 45 minutes away from there, but I got to work this weekend. But I think Rose is gonna win this time, because I think Joanna is just mentally, still thinking that she didn't win that fight, and her head is, it's all over the place. I think Rose this time is gonna choke her out.
God, dog. So, okay, do you think
I
the
mean,
fight
I
gonna
love
last
Joanna,
longer?
Chopped
but
liver out here.
she really put her foot in her mouth. I mean, I love
What a
Joanna.
stamina MC.
You know, she's a good fighter. She has a lot of good skills, but she just put her foot in her mouth, and she got knocked out. And just for her still saying that she didn't tap out, I mean, come on now. How many times are we gonna say, "Listen, you tapped out, girl. You tapped out. We saw it." She's still in denial.
Okay, but this is the problem though, because if she loses again to Rose, what's next? Going up to 125, and then you got the real Valentina. So, damn.
Well,
Could
if
be
she
the
goes up
end.
against Valentina, I feel she's gonna lose, that fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we
Valentina
could be
pretty
looking
got
at the
her
end of Joanna.
mastered out. Valentina pretty much knows what to do with Joanna, so
Yeah,
that's it.
she and Joanna is having a tough time making that weight. And it's just the weight cuts, and she's been making like heavy weight cuts her whole career. This not the first time that she done had a problem. She just making it seem like that, because she lost. But Joanna has always made the tough weight cuts. And I just think 125 for her career, man. I
That
think,
would be comfortable for her.
yeah, and I think her
She's too big.
performances will be better, man. We'll see her we'll see her have knockout power probably, because
Hmm.
she's a big strawweight, and you can tell when Jessica was trying to grab her, and Joanna was just shaking her off, or like Jessica would try to take her down, and Joanna would pop back up. She's a big, strong strawweight, man. So
Hmm.
I think featherweight, I think she'll do even better. And I'm not even a Joanna fan. Damn it, I can't believe I'm saying this crap. But I can't be like ignorant to her skill. I can't be ignorant. I have
Yeah,
to.
she's a good fighter. She really is a good fighter. She's a good fighter.
But I mean, if she goes up to 125, she's just looking at what, being the gatekeeper, because she'll never be able to get past Valentina. You would think, right?
I don't think she could beat Valentina. No.
So she's just gonna be a gatekeeper. Joanna gatekeeper. Damn, that's fucked up. I want PG-13 channel.
Oh
PG-13.
God, dog.
Hello, PG-13.
The children forgive full-time MMA. That's okay. I didn't cuss. He did.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Yeah, man. But yeah, okay. So I'm itching to see this fight. I can't wait for it really, because this is one of the bigger fights, man. This gonna be. Wait a minute, Tay Brown in high definition. What, I missed that, Tay.
I said I got Rose on this side.
Okay, and my man full-time, he kind of in between, but he said Joanna at first, so I don't know. He's
I'm sticking with my pick. Got to stick with my pick. I already made my predictions. I mean, yeah, I feel I'm not super confident in that prediction, but hey, we'll see what happens. And then if she does win, we could be seeing the trilogy, and then I'll probably pick Rose in that.
I mean, I like them both, but anything can happen in MMA. It happens.
Yeah. Well, Joanna I don't know. Joanna might want to pray to God, ask the Lord for forgiveness, ask him to, let Rose Chin be wrapped in a gift presence. I mean, something,
Mm-hmm.
How the hell is she going to explain that if she lose again? That's my question.
How you going to explain this?
Man, I don't know how. So, okay. I really want to get into this Ferguson and Khabib fight, man. I want to get into it, man. Okay. Kevin Ferguson, that dude's a hothead, man. I like the way he just he aggressive, man. He aggressive. Kevin Ferguson don't give two.
Tony Ferguson.
Why I keep? I'm thinking about Kevin
Lee. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Tony Ferguson don't give two craps. Okay.
Yes, sir. El Kakui. Have you seen the videos of him like elbowing and kicking steel pipes? Oh God.
Man, dude gonna break his foot, break his head. Gonna do everything. But hey, man, he crazy, man. He crazy. But he kept telling Kevin Lee, he said, man, look, you don't know what you're up against. Okay. I'm just telling you, you don't know what you're getting into. Wow. Remember he kept saying that when Kevin Lee kept calling him out, kept saying, I take you, I do this to you. Tony Ferguson said, listen, you don't know who you're getting in here with. You don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah, but at the same time, Tony Ferguson didn't know what he was getting into. Kevin Lee showed up with the staph infection that had him mounted and almost had him out of there.
So I mean, so you think if Kevin Lee wouldn't have had that staph infection, you think he would have won?
I think so. I think so, man. I mean, it's hard to say that though because it's Tony Ferguson, but you have to. The staph infection had to have affected him, and not only he had a bad weight cut on top of that. So I just think from him, and it's not a guarantee that he would have beat him, but and since Kevin Lee hasn't beat anybody in the top 5, it's even harder to say that. But at the same time, Kevin Lee's got a fight coming up versus Edson Barboza that I think will really tell us a lot about where he's at as far as the top 5 is concerned. But I mean, I think in just going off the comments and stuff, Kevin Lee earned a lot of people's respect in that fight. Even though he lost and got submitted, the fact that he still showed up, still fought with staph infection, and had Tony Ferguson mounted. I noticed a lot of people saying, yo, I didn't like Kevin Lee before this, but he earned my respect. So I mean, I do think Tony Ferguson is on another, and that's the thing about Tony Ferguson. He's been in trouble before in this Lando Venata fight and in other fights. We've seen Tony Ferguson in trouble, and he finds a way to stay in the fight, recover, and like get a submission. But yeah, I think Kevin Lee, he showed a lot of people, including Tony Ferguson, what was up that day, even though he lost the fight.
Hey, so Tay, what's your thoughts about that? Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson. Full Time broke it down, man. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Full Time MMA. Guys, the guy just broke it all the way down to a complete science. I don't even know.
I can't see that. I leave that for you as far as like breaking down the fight parts. But yeah, like I'm not good at breaking down like the technique and stuff. But yeah, I try and do it, but I appreciate it.
People don't tune into your channel, man. People tune into a channel for two things: entertainment or knowledge, and you got a combination of both, bro. So people not tuning in if you don't know what you're talking about. I'm tuning in. Go subscribe. So Tay Brown, what's going on? Because you know, I don't know, you back there sleep on us? You smoking? What's going on? Okay, Tay Brown has left the microphone. Okay, well then that's cool. So you got Khabib in the second go round, right?
Yeah, but the way that everybody's picking Khabib, man, did you watch what was the last UFC event? There was that last second submission. Paul Craig earned the last second submission. What was the last UFC fight night? It was like 2 weeks ago now, but there was a last second submission, and it reminded me of like when Anderson Silva got the triangle choke on Chael Sonnen. Like he was winning the whole fight, and then he got submitted. And I just feel like Tony Ferguson, as far as jiu-jitsu is concerned, and attacking from the bottom, man, he's a way better chance than everyone's giving him, but I still give the nod to Khabib. What about you?
Yeah, I got to go with Khabib, man. I just think Khabib is going to overwhelm him, man. Khabib going there, man, and he not even the most technical, man. Khabib is the most confident. And I say that because he will take your best shots. Okay, then he'll come forward. He'll cut off the octagon. He going to smother you, limit your movement. And then he going to make you either you got to stand and fight him or you just going to be overwhelmed. That's Khabib's style. He's going to make him respect. You know, you got to make Khabib respect any kind of power you got. And if Khabib don't think you can punch, Khabib going to talk to you and say, just give up. It's over. You know you want to quit. Just quit. See, Khabib is, to me, he's probably the best in that division in mentally destroying an opponent. Outside the octagon, while he's in the octagon, he talking to them guys, man. You ever watch and slow down and even really like break down footage of Khabib? Khabib talking mad shit. Excuse me. He talking it. But you know, he getting in them guys' head. Them guys, man, they go to a point where they trying to fight Khabib, and then it's like they almost terrified of the dude. They go into survival mode after about 2 rounds of fighting Khabib. They in survival mode. And it's like, man, he don't even give you a chance to get your shots off, man. Like, that's what Khabib does. It's so crude, but man, it's effective. And I can't see nobody in a division right now. I can't, man. If there's anybody in that division that could possibly beat him, man, I don't know. It would have to be Tony Ferguson. I mean, Conor McGregor not here, okay? So Tony Ferguson could be the one to beat him, but I can't see him doing it, man. I can't see him doing it.
I gotta ask you one question. Do you know the myth of Khabib versus Tibau. I don't know if you've seen in their last fight when Tony Ferguson and Khabib were supposed to fight, like they were face to face, and Tony Ferguson was like, "You lost to Tibau," and it made me go back and watch the fight. And I got to admit, man, if you haven't saw it, if you go back and watch Khabib versus Tibau, man, you might have expected Tibau's hand to get raised, but Khabib's hand get raised, and also to be fair, Tibau looks like he might have been on some of that pre-USADA, if you know what I'm saying. But that was a pretty interesting. I don't know if you knew about like Tibau versus Khabib, or if you saw that fight. I was interested to see what you thought about it.
No, sir, you got to educate me, man. I have
okay, and also UFC London was the last card. I got to put some respect on Stem in MC City. He said UFC London. That's for sure what it was. My bad.
Oh wait a minute. Let me give a shout out.
Volkov versus Verdun.
Let me give a quick shout out to my man Keith Brown MMA and boxing. Keith Brown also designs logos. Okay, he did a great logo for Brittany, the War Machine, Brittany Neiman, and Brittany has posted that logo all over social media. Keith Brown also has a channel. Guys, go and subscribe to Keith Brown MMA and boxing. The guy's hilarious. He's actually a fighter. He's a boxer, so his boxing knowledge is right up to par. And Keith also comes on live stream sometimes with us when he's not training. So, and Keith Brown also, if you guys are looking to lose weight, anybody, Keith Brown is the guy you need to talk to because he can actually help you lose weight. And I'll find that photograph.
No.
Yeah, Keith Brown can help you. I'll find that photograph of one of his clients, man. The girl made a complete transformation. But make sure, guys, y'all give Keith Brown that love, show him some love. And, yeah, that's my guy.
Well, Keith, if you're free, I'll be hitting you up.
I'm telling you, man, hit the dude up, man. Keith Brown is a legend. But nah, okay. So that's the fight where you thought Khabib met his match then. I'm still back on there because I'm listening to this.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I thought when I went back and watched the fight, and Tony Ferguson's the only reason I even knew about it. I wasn't even really a hardcore fan back then. So and when Tony Ferguson said you lost to Tibau, I went back on Fight Pass and I watched the fight and I was like, damn, he lost to Tibau. But at the same time, like he really looked like Tibau really looked like he was on steroids that fight. Like he was just jacked, like of. Man, it's crazy how jacked Tibau was in that fight. But with that being said, he just had like a size advantage, and being a wrestler seemed kind of hard to get the takedown. So I thought Tibau won that fight, but at the same time, Khabib got his hand raised, so he's still undefeated technically.
So Khabib got a gift decision. Hot diggity dog.
Fuck, I hate to do this. Ooh, it's PG-13 channel. I hate to do this, man, because there's so many fans. And I'm a big fan of Khabib, especially after what he's done to Edson Barboza and Michael Johnson. But I mean, honestly, I got put on Khabib right probably after the Michael Johnson fight, and like that's when he got put on a lot of people's radar. And that's when I went and looked at his whole resume. And before the Michael Johnson fight, like he was like 23-0, and out of those names, he only had like Rafael dos Anjos and like probably the other 21 names you probably wouldn't recognize. But so you know what I'm saying? And then on top of the Tibau fight. So, I mean, Khabib, he's definitely earned his – and it's kind of like Conor McGregor, though. I mean, if you go back and look at Conor McGregor's resume, he doesn't have the most stacked resume, beating legends, everybody when he was fighting the Dennis Sievers of the world, back whenever people say he didn't have the best wrestling. But then when he fought Chad Mendes, he was ready. So, I mean, even if Khabib wasn't fighting the biggest names when he was building his record, we saw what he did to Michael Johnson. We saw what he did to Edson Barboza. So you can't take anything away from him. With that being said, but Tony Ferguson's no joke either. But yeah, Khabib, very interesting history.
Man. Okay. Well, man, now I got to go do my homework and research on Khabib and that fight, man. I got to do it because I know probably about maybe 40 to 50% of the men in their bouts. I know them. I just, I can't break it down like that. So yeah, man, I got to go and research because, I break down Khabib fights. I like his fights, and I watch some of his fights where, like what he's able to do. So, but I got to see that fight now, man, because, I really want to see if Khabib got his number. Man, what style could beat Khabib? And, I probably may have to do a breakdown of what style could beat him if that guy gave him a tough fight. If you thought the guy won, but you said he was on some of that fish juice.
He was definitely on some of that fish juice, man. And I think it was before USADA as well. So, It was before USADA came in, maybe 2012 or something. But yeah, he was jacked.
Man, them guys gonna kill somebody, man. Them guys gonna kill somebody, man. But you know, they're cracking down on them guys now, you know. They're cracking down, man. USADA, they're not playing with these people, man. You heard when Cynthia Cavillo, man, you know, she was smoking some kush, man, and they got her, man, for 6 months, man, for smoking. Well, it was a 6-month sentence and a 9-month sentence, but they started at the same time. So the 9-month sentence is going to overlap the 6-month sentence. So that means after the 6-month sentence over, she got to do another 3 months. So I'm like, man, they not playing, man. These people now, if they want to do drugs right now, if they want to do drugs right now, if they want to do that stuff, they going to get them and they're going to be out, man. Like even Jessica Panay, hell, USADA retired Jessica Panay. I mean, dude, they put her out for 18 months, man. You know, that's going to make her 36 when she's able to come back, maybe like close to 37.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I didn't even realize that she was out for 18 months. That's crazy. And yeah, that's crazy, man. Especially when you think about, like, we'll see what happens with John Jones, but there was just today some news came out, like Josh Barnett, he was just proved innocent in his most recent case with USADA. And it's crazy because in the past he had other, you know, stuff where he was like on steroids, but now this most recent one, it's like he got cleared of. So I don't know. Yeah, sometimes USADA, some people will come in and say some people still can squeak by. But yeah, man, some people get busted for weed, and you're like, man, these people are strict. And then you see the big people like John Jones get flagged, and you're like, you know, USADA's really cracking down. You can tell, like, when the biggest names like Brock Lesnar, you know the UFC hated to see Brock Lesnar probably get popped right after he fought Mark Hunt. Speaking of, forgot about, you know, Mark Hunt's still suing the UFC over that. I completely forgot about that. Yeah. I wonder what's going on with that, Mark Hunt versus the UFC. Mark Hunt's going to be fighting. Oh, no, he just fought Curtis Blades. I was going to say Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades is going to be fighting Alistair Overeem at UFC 225. Okay. Wow. But I see you got Felice Herrig versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz on the queue. What do you think about that fight? I know I'm going to let you open up on that. That's your specialty.
Hold on 1 second, man. Okay. Hey, shout out to my sister, Guitar Babe 21 in the super chat. Yes, Guitar Babe can play the guitar. I know people want to know, can she play the guitar? She absolutely can play. And I've been trying to get her to come on and play the guitar, but you know, she's a little shy. She's a bit shy, but she's getting better. You know, she'll come on live stream every now and then, and she's breaking out of that shyness. And one day we'll get Guitar to play the guitar. Brought to you by Guitar Babe. Could you please just play the damn guitar for us? Okay, let's go ahead. Shout out on the super chat. Thank you. That's going to the fighters of this month. I give the super chat dollars over to athletes and also give it to fighters, the up and coming fighters that I interview. I just give them super chat dollars over to those guys so they can pay for their training and stuff like that.
That's super cool.
Yeah, man. All for the fighters.
Cool with the super chat.
So Felice Herrick. Boy, where's TJ 347? TJ 347 is going to come at me about this. Full-time Tay. I think Felice Herrick is going to pull up the upset. Yes. Okay. Yes. Herrick. She's on Instagram and RecQ doing underwear model ads. I know she is. Okay. I know Felice Herrick is showing the crack of her ass every time she get a chance. I know she does this. But Felice Herrick works hard. I'm a Felice Herrick fan. I gotta roll with Herrick just a little bit, you know. I know Herrick make those dumbass videos, and you know she do those little skits and stuff, and they not that funny. But Herrick can fight. I don't know, man. You got to give me your honest opinion on who do you think is gonna win, man.
I picked Karolina Kowalkiewicz, but I do know Felice Herrig has been wanting this opportunity for a long time, you know, fighting for the top 5. I remember she came out in the past and was like, maybe I'm not pretty enough. You know, I've been calling out I've been wanting to fight in the top 5. And after her most recent win, now she's got the opportunity. And Karolina Kowalkiewicz, her last fight was versus Jodie Esquibel, but before that, she fought, she got submitted in the first round by Claudia Gadelha, right? Am I correct? What's Claudia?
Gadelha beat her up, man. Like she ragdolled Karolina, man. Like Karolina was nobody.
See, I know Felice Herrig, if I'm not mistaken, she's a pretty high level grappler, right? Do you think the fight's gonna go more like that? I think if the fight stays standing, Karolina Kowalkiewicz will probably get the win. But I mean, just when you flash back to that Claudia Gadelha fight, you know, it's kind of like, you get a little. But yeah, I know Felice Herrig, you know, like you said, and she's working hard, she's training hard, and I'm sure with this opportunity, she's probably training harder than she's ever trained. But I think I'm picking Carolina, but I'm not mad. I definitely understand where you're coming from picking Felice Herrig. I'm sure she's really taking this opportunity pretty seriously.
And man, they killing me in the comment section for picking Herrick. They killing me. They are killing me. And I'm gonna wear this one on the chin. I'm gonna wear this on the chin. If Felice Herrick loses, I will come on here. I will. You know what? I'll put this on it. If Herrick loses, no, I can't do that. I cannot make a Megan Anderson intro video. I can't do that. I won't do it. No, I just can't do that. Okay. I have to do something else. Okay. Because one guy asked me, Coach, make a Megan Anderson intro video if Herrick loses. I thought about it. I can't do that. I just can't. I can't even do it for Megan. No, can't do it. But I'll figure something out. Okay. I'll sing backwards. I don't know what I'll do, but I got Herrick on this one. Herrick is not going to throw. She's not a volume puncher. She's not a volume puncher. She's going to try to keep the fight in the center of the octagon. Herrick is also a very good counter puncher, but then that's about it as far as it goes on the feet. That's it. Now, if Herrick gets this fight to the ground, and they better have been looking at what Claudia Gadelha did to neutralize Karolina Kowalkiewicz, because Carolina tried to do that high volume against Claudia. It wasn't happening. Claudia took a nice little angle, ragdolled her, and that was it. And see, Carolina to me is back and forth. You know, she don't really use a lot of lateral movement. She's coming right at you, you know. I don't think she cut off the octagon that effectively. Felice Herrig actually moves very well. She moves very well. She's up on the balls of her feet. She's, you know, always looking for the counter, and Carolina can be countered. But see, my thing is, if Felice Herrig try to exchange with Karolina Kowalkiewicz, she stand there, it's gonna be night. Okay? If she stand there and if she let Karolina Kowalkiewicz get in the clinch, it's a wrap. That Krav Maga training that Carolina got, that's you gonna see that. If Felice is allowed to get in the clinch, it's over. Carolina dominates the clinch. Now Felice is gonna have to get this fight to the ground. Felice has a lot of explosive takedowns. Her takedowns to me are very, very good. Okay, Felice has some of the best takedowns in the strawweight division. She's gonna have to use that. She's gonna have to get Karolina Kowalkiewicz off her feet to stop Carolina from throwing so many. Carolina is gonna throw 5-6 punch combinations. Okay, she gonna like unload the clip on who is this on Felice Herrig. She's gonna try to unload that clip. So, you know, I think Felice is fast enough. She's gonna be able to take the angle, and I think they have been studying that Gadelha fight because even Herrick been talking about how, you know, like how, you know, she see holes in Carolina's game that she can exploit. And when you watch the Gadelha fight, Gadelha was strong enough to do it. Felice is very, very strong. So I'm thinking maybe Felice can use the strength advantage to do similar to what Claudia did. I don't know, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's going to be a really good fight. And Felice Herrig, yeah, I would not be surprised. I'm not super confident in the Karolina Kowalkiewicz pick. And, you know, because Jodie Esquibel, if I'm not mistaken, she was even outside of the top 15 when they fought. I think that was just she just fought her in Poland. But, yeah, so, man, if Felice pulled off the upset, I wouldn't be too surprised. But I think I'm going to still give the edge to Kowalkiewicz.
Yeah, man, dude. I don't
the
know,
way you
man.
broke it down was super. You broke it all the way down, though.
Brother, I bet against Herrick. I thought Grasso was going to do it. And, you know, Grasso just waited till the third round to actually start fighting, you know. And, you know, Grasso was afraid of Felice, man. You know, then I thought that Justine Kish probably had a chance to do it. Nah, and Felice literally knocked the doo-doo out of Justine Kish. Had Justine Kish taking a dump on the octagon floor, man. So, I'm like, man. But I think Felice, if she gets to the ground, she can probably do it. So I don't know, man. But you know, Karolina Kowalkiewicz is the overwhelming favorite. I'll be eating this crow, man. I'm gonna go to my one pick. I always make a fanboy pick. I do. And then my man asked me in the comment section, why did I jump off the Karolina Kowalkiewicz train? I just got to ask you. You know, have I made a video negatively about Karolina Kowalkiewicz? Brother, I got 13 videos in defense of Karolina Kowalkiewicz. So I don't know where that's coming from because I've always been a Karolina Kowalkiewicz fan. Just because I don't think she's going to win a fight, what would make you think that I would jump off the bandwagon? I'm not doing that. I just think she may lose this particular fight. I'm still a fan. You guys, y'all got to calm down. I'm a Karolina fan. I got 13 videos out there. I defend this girl. You remember when I was pulling for her for Joanna and Jedrzejczyk? Do you forget that one? That was me. Oh man.
Yeah, people act like you can't pick if you're rooting for somebody, you defend somebody one time, I guess you can't ever pick against them. I guess maybe because it's an upset.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, brother. Yes, I'm going for Herrick. That don't mean I'm not a fan. Come on, man. You got to calm down. It's just fight talk. Relax. Okay? But I'm biased. Let me just be biased. I choose. I'll be biased. I'm okay with that. Okay? I'm going for Felice Herrick in this fight. And then I'll go back to being a Karolina Kowalkiewicz fan when it's over. That's how I can explain this.
Sounds good. I see you got Artem Lobov versus Alex Caceres up. That a fight that interests you? Artem the GOAT?
Yeah, man. But you got to open up with that, man. You got to start first, man.
Artem Lobov is, or should I say Artemis Lobovius, one of the greatest fighters, man. I mean, when you look at his resume, I believe he's 13-14. But, I mean, that's like the Warriors Bible, he said. When people look at his resume, they should call it the Warriors Bible because, he said he doesn't have a padded resume. He fights whoever, whenever, wherever. Some you win some, you lose some. But he said he's a fighter's fighter, and he's going to be fighting, Bruce Leroy, who's also a fan favorite. Everybody loves Alex Caceres. I think it's an evenly matched fight. Neither one of these guys are ranked. Neither one of these guys probably should be ranked, except for Artem, unless you want to put him number one pound for pound. But as far as featherweights are concerned, I don't think he should be ranked. But Artem Lobov versus Alex Caceres is going to be a fun fight. It's going to be on Fight Pass. I got to give the nod to Artem because he's the GOAT.
Man. I know Lobov, man. I know Artem Lobov. Very dangerous fighter, man. Alex Caceres, he too sloppy. Okay, I don't, and I don't want to offend the Alex Caceres fans. Okay, he's sloppy. The guy, he runs around, man. He jumps on the octagon cage and tries to do these elaborate kicks, and the guy, he's just not patient, man. And like he throws shots all over the damn place, man. And I'm sitting here thinking, no wonder this guy got so many losses, man. If he would just settle down in his form and actually concentrate on what he got to do, I feel like, man, this guy got like ADD or something in there, man. Like, damn, and you see the potential. You see where he's very explosive, man. But it's like, I don't know, man. I think Lobov is just he's too George. I didn't send the link, man. I can't talk to you now. I'm on a live stream. No, you can't come in. I got to send you the link. Our Lord Lobov. Well, no, I don't respect that Lord. I respect the Lord up high, but I don't respect Lobov as a Lord. But I know that the guy can fight. Okay, and I just think that he's too technically sound for Alex Caceres. Caceres, his technique is not there. He's explosive. He's athletic, but that's about it.
One of the things about him as well that just always, and the same thing with Benson Henderson, and I'm actually a fan of their camp because that's where Sean O'Malley comes out of. But I hate whenever people come to the octagon with their hair not like braided or something to where it can get in their eyes, because I used to have my hair grown out and I had a fro, and I know whenever you're doing athletics or anything and you start to get to sweating, if you're fighting or anything, it starts to get in your eyes. And it's hard for me to take somebody serious when I see their, your hair is about to get in your eyes. But also Alex Caceres, I don't know, or Caceres, I don't know how you pronounce it, but leading up to one of his last fights, he was saying, like, he made it seem like he didn't really take MMA serious. He made it seem like he didn't want to become a champion. He said, like, he was just waiting on his girl to get out of college, and once she got out of college, they were going to, like, move out of the country. He was just fighting, for fun. And so that might go into his style. He's just in there, like you said, doing some entertaining stuff. But, yeah, I don't know if he necessarily wants to even really try to become a champion or stuff like that. So with that being said, I think Artem's actually motivated. He was talking about not fighting for the UFC and stuff. So now that he's getting this opportunity and, it's going to be a fun fight, the fans really want to see this fight because both of these guys, even though they're unranked, do like these fighters. So I think it's going to be a fun fight. And I'm definitely going to be watching it. But, yeah, who did you say you have a Lobov winning? I'm pretty sure from what you were saying. You got Lobov?
That's easy work for Lobov. That's easy work. It just is, man. Hey, George, Okay, hey George, you got to click on the link, and the link will pull you into the live stream. I don't know because it keeps sending you to I don't know, man. It's not sending you into the link. Like Tay Tay is getting into the link. Like she calls in, she clicks the link, and she come in. I don't know. We got to sit down one day, and I just got to talk to you off the camera, and we can figure out how to get in one day. Because it keeps sending you to like I don't know, it's sending you to my phone. Maybe if I cut my phone off, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's sending you to the Hangout on the phone. Well, okay, but yeah, because George is good too. I like having George in. But yeah, man, I got Lobov winning this fight, man. I think that he's yeah, man, I think he's too technically sound, man, and he's gonna be patient. Where Cacres, he's not very patient, man. You can see though, man, now the guy is capable of pulling the upset. He is, because of the way he moves and the way he does things in the octagon. He's capable of an upset. But now that you told me the guy not even serious about fighting, that dude might get that afro stuck in the cage, man. He gonna get hit so hard. Like I don't know, man. But yeah, he better.
And this was probably 2 or 3 fights ago, but that's just always stuck with me. Like he just like kind of admitted like he was just waiting. I mean, maybe his mind has changed since then. You know, I'm not sure. Maybe he's like, whenever he was mentioning it, it was like before Trump became president. I don't even want to go to that route, but he was just like, you know, with the way the politics are, who would want to live in this country? And so that's what he was talking about. And maybe he's changed since then. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's always stuck with me though. Whenever I heard him say that.
Wow. Yeah, man. I can't see him beating Lobov, man. You know, and I'm not really like a huge fan of Lobov, but you know, I respect people's talent, man. I respect what they do, and I respect how they do it. So I think he's gonna beat Cacres. I will pull for Cacres to win. I mean, that's what I would be pulling for, but it's slim to none. Now, if he loses and Cacres come up with some explosive knockout, okay, guess what? I'll be eating some more crow because people seem to think I'm gonna be eating that crow with Herrick. I don't know, man. I think Herrick is gonna pull up the upset. And I know, y'all. I know. I don't know, man. I know you got KK. I know people going, and you know what? You just got to laugh at me. We come on here again. You got to make me eat the crow. You can't take it easy on me. You have to make me eat the crow.
We could all be eating crow if you're right, and you know, and Herrick wins, and we're all over here sitting looking. You know what I'm saying? We might all be eating crow. There's quite a few fights on this card, like where there's an underdog, like even on the main card, but they've got the potential to win. Like Rose Namajunas, I believe, is an underdog. You know what I'm saying? Tony Ferguson is an underdog, and he's the champion. There's a lot of underdogs on this card that do have the potential to win. Felice Herrig, Alex Caceres.
Okay, I mean, hey, so okay, wait a minute. You never told me who you thought was gonna win between Lobov and Caceres.
I got the GOAT, Lobov. I think he's gonna win. He's gonna win. Conor's gonna scale the fence. They're gonna pop champagne in the octagon, and then they got to clean it up for the next fight.
They don't clean off that, man. They don't clean that floor off, man. They be leaving blood and pissing all over that floor, man. Yeah, man. Them fighters, their working conditions, man, are crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, shoot, man. You got any other?
Shit. We can't. I mean, excuse PG-13 channel. And poop. They be having that on the octagon too. I mean, Felice Herrig, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they didn't
clean that up either, man. They left that on the ground, man. They ain't clean up that crap. Justine Kish had it all on there.
Yeah, you got to clean it up for me, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Not cleaning up the octagon is crazy.
Okay, this breaking news from Eye Candy, and I hadn't verified this. Normally, if somebody say something in the comment, I verify, but I'm gonna just trust Eye Candy. She said Ray Ellaby is saying Antonina should fight Cyborg. Nah, it's probably not gonna happen. I can tell you that won't happen. Antonina would never come up to 145. Cyborg is never gonna go down at a catch weight, so it's not gonna happen. Because Antonina wanted to fight Jarena Jojo Bars, and Bars wanted Antonina at a catch weight. You know, she wanted Antonina to come up to 145 pounds, and Antonina was like, "Oh hell no, I ain't coming up there." You know, that's why. So you can have the advantage. Nope. So that fight ain't gonna happen. Ray Ellaby, he need to get that fight out of his head. He need to forget about it. Okay, look, you stay on Megan Anderson neck. That's who he need to stay on. Okay, stay on Amanda Nunes neck. Okay, but Antonina Shevchenko not coming up to fight. She not gonna do that. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, that's Valentina Shevchenko, they're talking about her fighting Cyborg. Yeah, okay, she must be a beast for people to be talking about her coming in and one of her first fights being Cyborg. That's crazy. No, but you know what's going on with Cyborg? A lot of girls, man, are just saying the name Cyborg, you know, and it might be her coach or somebody. Like, we'll fight Cyborg, we'll fight Cyborg. What do you think about that? Like, who do you think's the most realistic, legit featherweight to fight Cyborg? Out of like the Cindy Dandois, Megan Anderson.
Cindy Dandois is the biggest out of all of them, but Dandois, man, technically, man, she going there, she gonna get killed, man. Like literally, she gonna get everything beat out of her. Megan Anderson is the most durable, but she got the least experience. You know, Megan is the most durable. Megan will probably last, you know, a couple of rounds, but you know, she don't have Holly Holm's skill set, you know, such as the foot movement. She don't have that, man. So she's not going to survive. Amanda Nunes is a blown up bantamweight, so you know, Amanda actually should be fighting at she should be a flyweight. She's fought at flyweight before. She done knocked out flyweights before. And Amanda got a lot of fights outside of Sherdog that people don't even know about, that, you know, she was fighting at a heavier weight. So it's like, okay, Amanda offers the best course of action, but that's the bantamweight champion, you know? So it's almost like they won't bring the girls in to fight Cyborg. And the girls that they go after, they were flat out refused. Like Julia Budd said, nope, not doing it. Okay. Jermaine Durandame said, nope, not doing it. You know, you got now you got girls like Arlene Blenko, you got them, you got Amber Liebert, you got girls that's 145 pounds that they want to fight. They're good fighters, but you know, for whatever reason, the UFC, they're not going to pull those fighters in to fight Cyborg. It's going to be a one and done. So now you get fighters like Tanya Evinger who get crapped on, and who should have been in Tanya Evinger should have been in the UFC 5 years ago. Okay. Evinger should have been in the UFC 5 years ago, but Tanya Evinger would not kiss ass. And that's just how it is. Okay. Evinger was not willing to do that. And Evinger was vocal about it. So, you know, and they brought her in, but oh yeah, Tanya, yeah, we'll give you a shot, but we need you to save a card. Oh, who I got to fight? Hey, go in and fight Chris Cyborg. Tanya wanted that fight back when Chris was in Invicta, man. You know, this is Tanya Evinger now. 5 years, she aged. You know, Tanya Evinger got 2-3 more years. They put the girl in there against Cyborg. That, to me, that was messed up. You know, why not let Tanya fight a bantamweight fight? Why? Why not? Just let Tanya have a bantamweight fight, okay? Just go ahead and let her have it, okay? Let her have that fight. Don't put Tanya out there. Bring some legit 145 pounders. They're out there. They you know, they want to fight. They can fight, but for whatever reason, the UFC don't want it. Then you got Megan Anderson, who, you know, she talking to junk, you know, swear up and down that, well, I can't fight right now. But then every time Cyborg have a fight, or every time Mackenzie Dern have a fight, she coming out on social media, and then whenever Cyborg say, okay, well, let's do this. Oh, I can't fight yet. Like, what the hell
that's
going
crazy.
on, man?
Megan Anderson, like, she's called out Cyborg twice since Cyborg's last 2 fights. Every time Cyborg wins, she'll say something, but supposedly she's got some personal issues going on. Like Ariel Helwani, like he says, like the personal issues she don't want to talk about. It's like, well, then why are you calling out Cyborg, you know, until that's done with? And that's what makes me think Cyborg is right. And I believe Cyborg when she says everyone's just trying to use her name to build their career. And, you know, start getting talked about with Cyborg in the Cyborg conversation. The fact people are talking about you. Kind of like Conor McGregor to a lesser extent. Like, if people trash talk Conor McGregor, is probably going to be a headline. If people say they want to fight Cyborg, they're going to get, you know, they're going to get talked about. So it's like a lot of people talk about Cyborg, but they really don't want to fight her, and that's kind of crazy.
Chris Cyborg is a draw, man. See, everything that Dana White tried to do, man, it backfired. It backfired because, you know, all the little Wanderlei Silva jokes, and, you know, nobody would pay to see Chris Cyborg. Well, you know, Chris Cyborg had the second highest pay-per-view card. And then she had a third one. She got what, 380,000 subs. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. God dog it. She got a 380,000 views on pay-per-view. And then the other fight she did had 250,000.
Yeah, Chris but Amanda Nunes sold millions with Ronda Rousey.
But that's because Ronda Rousey, man. Amanda Nunes.
But see, and I hear you, but like Holly Holm was on Cyborg's card. She sold some pay-per-views there. Khabib was on that card, and then if you put it that way, Cyborg just fought at UFC 222, and it was one of the lowest ever. You know, because there wasn't a Holly Holm, there wasn't a Khabib. So I mean, it's not like Cyborg is just selling pay-per-views by herself like a Ronda Rousey. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think Rousey, man, people was coming to see if Rousey really pull it off. And so, cause see, she got brutally head kicked by Holly Holm. See, I think had Amanda Nunes fought another opponent, I don't think it would have done all those pay-per-view buys, man. I think if it would be anybody else, no, I don't think so. I think Amanda, she had the chance to really play it off and really do well. Like she had a chance to build that up, but it's like she didn't do it. And Amanda, she got the ideal to build up a fight. She can do it. It's just, nah, she real relaxed. You know, Amanda really is laid back. You know, she real relaxed, man. She's not trying to get into a lot of confrontation. So at the end of the day, you know, I don't know. I think those people were there to see more of Ronda Rousey because you know Ronda has always been a draw.
What about Holly Holm though? There's a lot of people that Holly Holm's a pretty big draw herself. So yeah. I mean, she sold some of those Cyborg pay-per-views. If Cyborg would have been fighting anybody else, not Holly Holm, she probably wouldn't have sold 300,000. Like if she was fighting Yana Kunitskaya, she wouldn't have sold 300,000.
But they did 250,000, and that's against a nobody, you know. So
they did 250,000 on UFC 222 still.
They did 250,000, and
okay,
that's against Joanna.
That's something that's good numbers for Cyborg.
And see, you know, my thing is the Cyborg detractors. You know, they come in, and it's like, you know, okay, just give the woman a just due. Okay, basically, you put her in there with your favorite fighter, she beat him. Okay, we tried, you know, we had that argument with, hey, Amanda Nunes. You know, why is Cyborg picking on Amanda? Wait a minute. This the same Amanda Nunes that fought Alexis Davis, flyweight. This the same Amanda Nunes that fought Vanessa Porto, flyweight. Okay. This the same Amanda Nunes that fought Julia Budd. Okay, wait a minute. That's a featherweight. She also fought Ediane Gomez. That's a featherweight. So I mean, I don't know what's going on. Is she, you know, does she want to fight flyweights? Does she want to fight bantamweights? I mean, what is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and Lavelle, I see you, man. You keep going at it, but Cyborg is good, and you can, you know, she good, she can fight, and she's a draw. It's no big deal, okay. But I think 250,000 against Yana, the no name, I don't know, man. I think that's decent, and Khabib also is a factor too. So I will say Khabib was there too, you know, and that helped push that card. But I don't know. I mean, who's more well known, Cyborg or Khabib?
Cyborg, I would say Cyborg is. But Khabib, and I don't even know how much of a draw. But Khabib did fight on some pretty big cards himself. But still, I mean, I don't know how big of a draw Khabib is as far as pay-per-views. But still, there wasn't Khabib on the card when she fought Yana Kunitskaya, who was, I know there was Brian Ortega. Frankie Edgar was on the card, but still. When Amanda Nunes fought Valentina Shevchenko, that was a rescheduled fight too. So has Amanda Nunes ever fought on a pay-per-view that wasn't against Ronda Rousey that was not rescheduled, or was it only the Valentina Shevchenko numbers? Because I don't know how much of a draw Amanda Nunes is, but it's probably not as big as Cyborg. But I don't know I mean, Cyborg's still not like, you know, a 500,000, you know what I'm saying? No. She's not the biggest draw, but she is a draw.
Yeah, well, as far as the women are concerned now, but no, she's not a fight. She's not doing Ronda Rousey numbers. She's not doing Holly Holm numbers, you know, because, you know, her and Holly together, they made that fight. But I think more the people, in my opinion, okay, I think the more the American fan base was Holly Holm, okay, and I put that out there. But I think the Brazilians who bought pay-per-view, I know that those Brazilians were there for Chris Cyborg, you know. But Holly Holm, she got a lot of Brazilian fans. Like Holly Holm got a lot of Brazilian fans, okay, a lot of Brazilian fans. So, you know, so that fight, but then when Holly and Yana did that 250,000, I'm like, okay, so maybe if she fights a credible opponent, or maybe if somebody that the UFC can build up the thing, hey, this is the person that'll beat her. I don't know, you know, but you know, they're paying her 500 grand. So evidently they must think something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's about as much as Demetrius Johnson is making, I think.
Yeah. You know, and I'm, you know, yeah, I am a Cyborg fan. I put it out there. I am. And I like the technical aspects, but you know, when you look at it though, why are all these women calling out though? I mean, and there's a reason. I mean, Tanya Evinger did. She got $100,000. Yana Kunitskaya called out for 2 years. You know, she got $100,000. You know, like, is there a reason that these women are calling out?
I think they're clout chasing. They're looking for attention. You know, they're trying to build their name off of Cyborg. A lot of them. I think Cyborg's right. I heard her say that recently. She thinks a lot of girls are using her name to build their careers, and that's really what it's looking like with a lot of these girls. They'll mention her name, and then when Cyborg says, all right, let's do it, there's something that's going on. They can't fight.
Well, yeah, and I'm not trying to, like, people think like I'm just on Amanda. I'm not on Amanda, man. But they called her out, and then it's like, okay, well, Chris said, well, no, I really don't want to fight my countrywoman. This was back in what, January, early January, late December, early January. She was saying, I don't want to fight my countrywoman. So finally, you know, after people saying, well, Chris is ducking Amanda, she ducking Amanda. So Chris Cyborg called out Amanda. Well, now she picking on Amanda because Amanda too small. Well, I mean, you know, it's a no-win situation. It's always that kind of situation when it comes to this. You know, like, okay, so what is she supposed to do? Okay, you got a division here that's in turmoil because they won't bring fighters in, but they keep making her fight these freak shows. So Cyborg's like, well, I want to build a 145-pound division. I want to fight Megan Anderson, who is a legit featherweight. I want to fight Megan. You know, what's wrong with that? You know, that's the fight to make. But then you got Megan talking all this junk on the side. But Cyborg saying, okay, let's do this. Well, I'm not cleared to fight. Well, then why the hell are you running your mouth? Just, if you don't want to fight, just say, you know what, I want to fight you, but wait till I'm cleared. Like, I don't know, man. I don't get Megan. Like, I don't get it. But they all calling his name out like, what? Okay. Is that the name to get the payday? I mean, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Cyborg's the biggest name in WMMA. I mean, and you know, when Ronda Rousey was still fighting MMA, you know, there's a lot of girls that called out Ronda Rousey. A lot of girls wanted the Ronda Rousey fight. You know what I'm saying? But now I think Cyborg is the name. But yeah, it's just the messed up part is whenever Cyborg says, "Okay, you've been calling me out." And then, you know, it's messed up whenever someone calls you out and then you're willing to fight them and they back down. Like, all right, I'm willing to fight you. You've been, you know, using my name. Let's fight. And it's like, no, I'm not cleared. Or no, actually, I'm going to fight her now. You know, even with Amanda Nunes, she's fighting Raquel Pennington after being the one, you know, like, oh, no, like, I know you don't want to fight a Brazilian and I know you want to fight a 145-pounder, but I want to fight you. No, put all that aside. Let's fight. And then Cyborg's like, all right, I guess we can fight. And then she's like, nah, never mind. I'm going to fight Raquel. It's like, no, not you too. What?
Yeah, it's like she keep, you know, man, I don't know. And, you know, then, you know, Amanda and Raquel, they friends, man. They tight. So I'm like, wait a minute. So you didn't know the status of Raquel's leg? Like, you didn't call? You didn't go check on your homegirl? Like, no, they friends. I'm talking about, man, they be having family picnics together. They be at home watching movies together. Look, man, they spend quality time together. So if you're trying to tell me that Amanda Nunes didn't know that, you know, Rocky Pennington was going to be recovered, no, I can't believe it. So I don't know. Was the intention to never fight Cyborg? Because it'll be a hell of a fight. I want to see it.
Point.
Be a hell of a fight. Be a hell of a fight. You know?
I was all the way on board. I wanted to see it too. And Amanda Nunes was the reason. Like, you know, she was the one that, for every reason Cyborg said, you know, like every reason she gave, like, look, I don't want to do this to a fellow Brazilian. Look, I want to fight a legit 145-pounder. Look, you know, she's not a big draw. Every single reason Amanda Nunes was coming out the next day. Like, yeah, no, listen, she said this, but no, this is why we should fight. And then finally, when she got Cyborg on board, she backed out. But I mean, that's like really the same thing with the Megan Andersons. And I'm sure there's many girls that the only thing I can really come up with is they're just using Cyborg's name, you know, to kind of build their name, like clout chasing, you know. And I could use examples. Conor McGregor. I mean, I could take it wild and use Tekashi 6ix9ine, but some people might not know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that are, you know, they'll call you out because they know, but what, someone's calling out Cyborg? Let me see who this is. If they just called out some other person that people didn't really know about, then no one would really know about them. So I think people are just kind of using her name, Cyborg's name.
Yeah, you know, man, they I don't know. I think they know that they'll get a payday because what's the average now? In the six figures now? That's the average. You go fight Cyborg, you getting six figures. Holly Holm got 300,000. Tanya Evinger made 100,000. Yana Kunitskaya made 100,000. Tanya Evinger also got pay-per-view points. I don't know if Yana did. Holly Holm got a lot of pay-per-view points. So you think after that fight, Holly Holm probably made about $2 million, man. After the pay-per-view points were tallied up, they made some money. They made money. I'm like, well, okay, damn. Okay, so what do? I call out Cyborg. I take a beating, maybe a little one, and then I go out and I might be almost a millionaire after I wake up from that ass whooping.
Kind of like Conor McGregor going over and fighting Floyd Mayweather. I don't care if I lose. You know how much money I'm about to make? More money than I've ever made before.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It's like, I'm going to try my hardest, but if I lose, I'm still going to wake up happy when I cash that check.
Well, you know, and I agree, man. You know, he cashing that check, man. And Conor, he ain't looking back, man. Conor McGregor ain't even fighting, man. He's like,
no,
forget
he
it.
might. I don't think he's going to fight Khabib or Ferguson, the winner. Like, people are saying, if he's not going to defend his belt, he's not going to come back and try and win it back, because he's still, even if he came back and beat Khabib or Ferguson, people could still say, yeah, but you never defended your belt. So then he'd have to fight another lightweight if he was really worried about shutting people up. And he's got these money fights on the table with the Floyd Mayweather rematch, the Nate Diaz trilogy. He's got even he's got another big GSP's talking about, there's talks of GSP versus Conor McGregor at 165 for the, brand new belt. And so I don't think Conor McGregor is going to fight either one of these lightweights. I think he's just going to come back for the biggest fights possible, the biggest opportunities, and I ain't mad at him. I mean, why fight one of the? You just be doing it for pride. Like, yeah, let me fight Khabib, just because I want to prove something to people, when you would be making just way less money than if you fought Floyd Mayweather or even Nate Diaz.
Yeah, and McGregor don't want to come back to make $2 to $5 million, man. And to take that kind of damage, he fought the one fight with a broken foot. The guy done had, his nose was broken. He had to fight. His ankle, had an ankle injury. He had to fight. Had a wrist injury. He had to fight. He had a back injury. He was still in there fighting. So think about it, man. You go in there, you box 12 rounds. You get punched by Mayweather, which it's not quite as bad as getting punched by Khabib.
Yeah.
You think about the danger factor, and you go make the money. So he thinking in his brain, why am I finna take this damage for $2 to $5 million when Dana White gonna pocket about $20 million, and then everybody else over him gonna get more money, and then I'm just the guy in there taking the ass whooping, So
way higher risk too.
Yeah, he taking a risk, man. So, and Conor said that too. He said that in the interview, like, I'm taking all the risk. I'm taking risk. I need to be a part of the company. They need to come to me now, and let's really talk about giving me an ownership share of the company. I'm like, well, they ain't gonna do that, but they're gonna have to come at him with some serious money, man. If he get an octagon, and they got to be talking at least 10 million or more. I mean, because he not gonna do it, man, for that stuff they paying now. He ain't gonna do it.
Yep, I agree. Some people don't think he'll ever fight again. I do think he'll be back, but it's gonna have to be either a big money fight, or he's gonna have to get them shares he was asking for. The percentage of the company. And then, but that really can't really happen, because you can't have Conor McGregor owning the UFC. How can you fight somebody that, in a company you own? Like, if you beat me, motherfucker, I'm firing you. Oh, it's PG-13. But, if you beat me, your teammate's getting a bad matchup. Like, that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, man, it is. It's a real conflict of interest, man. But, Conor, man, I think he figured out how to beat the system, man. Because if you look at the system these guys in, I'll be honest, we said we complain about fights, but man, you got to admit, man, Dana White, Sean Shelby, Nick Maynard, we've gotten some fights, a lot of fights that we want to see. The UFC to me is fan friendly because we're getting the best fights. It's not fighter friendly because they're not getting the best pay. And some of these fighters are living, they below the poverty level, man. Like, I'm interviewing these fighters, and man, I interviewed a fighter. I won't even lie. I ain't gonna say their name, but she was saying, yeah, it's not fun living below the poverty line. That's what she told me after the interview off the screen. I'm like, really? She said, Coach, you just don't understand. She said, you really don't understand. She said, you interviewing me and you excited to interview me. And she was like, I'm just thinking about, well, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I do a couple of different things. I coach, I deal with at-risk youth. I deal with, I deal with kids in the school system. So I make money around there, She said, see, and the fight, you got to really be dedicated to be the best. And the one day get the paydays, you got to actually sacrifice maybe even 8 to 9 years of your life before you can even get the huge paydays. That's what she was telling me, and I'm like, and it made common sense to me. I'm like, dang, man, that's it's bad. And, even Conor McGregor, he struggled for years, man, before he even, started making money. He struggled financially. I mean, he was poverty level, and he finally started making the money. But you got to win, and you got to be marketable, man. It's crazy. But for the women, it's twice as bad because you got to win, you got to look good, and you got to be marketable. You got to know how to sell yourself. So it's a triple-edged sword for these women. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. Yeah, and then even at the highest level, and like if you think about the other sports, and how they have like unions, or the boxers have these acts, the Ali acts and stuff like that. Once you even get to the highest level in MMA with the stuff like the UFC, fighters at the highest level aren't even necessarily getting their fair share. Like if you look at the NBA and like the Fox deal and stuff like that, the players, they get like 50% of the TV money. As of right now, the UFC fighters get like a whopping 0%, and it's like that's just that deal. That's not counting the UFC video game. You got all these characters. I think they get paid off of how much their character gets used, some super small scale. And it's like when you just see how the other sporting organizations are, like they get way higher of a split on all of that. So, and when you think about how MMA athletes train, they've got to train all these different disciplines. Not like they're training dribbling one day and they're training their free throws one day. They're training getting slammed on the mat one day and getting put in a Kimura one day and getting kicked in the head one day. And their training is that much harder, and they don't have those same protections. But I think MMA is on the way, and they definitely need those protections. But, with like Leslie Smith, she's got that Project Spearhead going. But a lot of these things that have came up, these athletes unions, the MMAAA that had like TJ Dillashaw, Cain Velasquez, GSP, Tim Kennedy, all these guys behind it, that just fizzled. And so, I mean, yeah, the mixed martial artists as of right now, man, they're definitely not getting their fair share. And it's got to be hard to be a fighter. Like I'm sure a lot of people want to be a fighter, but if you don't have some sort of, it seems like expensive to be a fighter. It seems like you almost have to pay to be a fighter at this point. Especially you take into consideration some people go overseas and their opponent can't make weight. So since they can't fight, they don't get a paycheck at all. And it's like you see stuff like that happen, and it's just like you see that time and time again. It's pretty crazy with some of these fighters. That's why they say you kind of have to have some money to be able to be in. Like, I don't know, I'm sure you probably do, but Felony Charles Bennett, like he's got like 30 wins and 36 losses, and like of his 36 losses, like 24 of them are via submission. Well, it's probably, pretty expensive to get the jiu-jitsu class unless you got someone behind you. Some of these fighters get sponsors to help them, but there's so many different things you have to train. So I'm sure it's just got to be a grind and a real struggle to be a up-and-coming MMA fighter, let alone one that's already in the UFC or something.
And then too, man, some of that, and TC brought on that some of the salaries that you guys that they see, it's the Reebok money. It's not the contract money. See, these guys, they go in and they sign a multi-fight contract deal. They sign it. And then when they sign that contract deal, you got to read. They have to have an attorney. Most people, they need one to read all that stuff because it's in the fine print, man. Some fighters, they sign a deal with the video game and how much percentage of the game, what pay-per-view points, all that stuff is in there. And see, these fights are already prorated. Like, they're going to tell you how much you make in your second fight in the contract, your third fight. They're going to tell you what percentage of pay-per-view points that you're getting. And I know I read 2 of those contracts, man. Let me tell you, man, that's over 60 pages, man, of just reading what's in that contract, what, Zuffa, or it was Zuffa back then, what they can do and what the fighter can't do. The fighter really don't have a lot. And then, if a fighter ducks a fight, like if they say, I ain't fighting somebody, the UFC can put that person on the shelf for 6 months. So that's 6 months without a payday. They can do it. It's in the contract. They can reserve the right to put you on the shelf. And then, see, when Reebok came in, Reebok screwed it all up because, now these fighters could put a bunch of sponsors. Like, say if you or I wanted to go and ask Rose Namajunas, hey, Rose, if we give you $1,000, could you put our logo on your trunks? See, fighters would do that. That's easy money. Like I'm doing it now with one of the fighters I interviewed. I just gave a couple $100 and gave another fighter a few $100, and they're putting my logo on all their trunks. Well, fighters in the UFC used to do that. And so that was a lot of money. Well, guess what? The UFC, they cut that out. They cut all that out, and now it's just Reebok. But wouldn't you like to know that now the UFC took the sponsors that the fighters were getting, and they're putting the sponsors' logos all around the octagon, but the fighters can't get that money anymore. So it's really a raw deal for fighters, especially if you're up and coming, where you depending on your sponsors to get the money. And so now you got fighters like Rampage Jackson, Angela Overkill Hill, they're playing Twitch. And Twitch pays them a lot of money, but they got to do that because they got to make ends meet. That's reality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's reality. Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what they got to go through to make the money, man.
I
It's
heard
crazy.
one fighter, and I can't remember who it was. It was a fighter. He was real emotional. Like, he was talking about how his father died right before the fight. But he got on the mic and was like, Reebok, thank you. You guys are the best thing to ever happen to me. And it was like, the Reebok deal, in my mind, the way you break it down, it's always seemed like that to me too. Like, if it were ideally, the fighters would probably not want the Reebok deal. But at the same time, I've heard some fighters come out and kind of complain and say sometimes it was hard getting money from our sponsors. Like, but yeah, still though, the Reebok deal, it still rubs me the wrong way sometimes, even when you hear fighters come out and like Joe Lozon, I think he's said the Reebok deal is a good thing and stuff. So there are some fighters that do like the Reebok deal, but at the same time, I think 90% of the fighters probably aren't super high on the Reebok deal.
It's the low end fighters that used to have them sponsors, man. Them the
Yeah.
ones that's pissed because see them sponsors made up a lot of income, and now they can't get it anymore. They got to depend on the Reebok money that they get, and they may or may not get that Reebok money. And then you may or may not get a Reebok bonus for winning a fight. You might not get fight of the night. So it's like, like take a fighter like Miesha Tate, man, who fought wars in the ring in the octagon. Well, her last fight, Miesha Tate made 46,000, and then she made another 46,000 for winning the fight against Holly Holm. See, and it's like Holly Holm got $500,000 to fight Miesha Tate, but Miesha Tate, what the hell does Miesha Tate do? Because she don't have a sponsor she had back when they was in Strike Force. Because that made it. If they were able to have those sponsors, a fighter could actually concentrate on fighting. They could literally fight. They could train every day. They don't have to go look for part-time work. Like I give you an example. Jarena JoJo Bars. I don't know. Are you familiar with her, JoJo Bars?
Maybe from your channel.
She the one that she fought Cyborg in that Muay Thai match. That video went viral, and
Okay.
and Jarena actually won a decision in Muay Thai versus Cyborg. Well, you would think Jarena, after all that publicity, man, would she would be like up there and she could just fight. Jarena is a security guard at night. And she also opened up a gym. So Jarena got to work she got to train as a fighter. She got to work nights as a security guard to help, pay her bills. And she opened up a gym training fighters. So she can't really concentrate on just fighting, and it's crazy, man. I was talking to her like a couple of months ago and she said, Coach, it's just a lot of work. I had to work hard because I don't have enough sponsors to pay bills,
Yep. Yeah, and I can only imagine, man. You hear some fighters in the UFC talk about these issues, because there's a lot of fighters, so many fighters, and so many organizations. You got to wonder how all of these people are kind of paying to be, are being fighters. I'm sure it's got to do with a lot of help from outside, before you get in the UFC sponsors and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just crazy. You hear this at the highest level. So, the people like that you're naming, Jarena Bars, I'm sure she's not in the UFC. I don't know if she's just a Muay Thai fighter, but man, it sounds, sounds pretty tough out there. Hard out there for a pimp.
Yeah, man. Now, if you fighters like Holly Holm or Cyborg, they can get a bit more Reebok money because they're gonna sell more pay-per-views. Amanda Nunes will get a little bit more of the Reebok money. Because those are those fighters that
I heard Reebok goes off of like experience. If you've got 20 fights, you get paid more than someone with 30 fights. If you 40 fights, you get paid that much more than someone with. Okay, yeah, I heard they went off of experience in Reebok.
Okay.
So like even if you're a fighter like that, Alexander Volkov, everybody might not know, but you already have 30 fights. He's probably getting a pretty nice Reebok check compared to somebody that's only got like 12 fights.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow. Well, whatever it is, man, it's the Reebok deal is good for some fighters, but man, it sucks for some other fighters. But it's better for Dana White and the UFC. It's better for them because they're the ones profiting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're making. Man, money. You got to imagine how much. I mean, they're paying some out too, but the UFC, man, they're making a lot of money. Dana White and them motherfuckers is ball. I can't be mad because when you think about it from the fighter standpoint, you are. But as a business, they're very successful. If you're looking at it from a business standpoint, they're a successful business. You just get the Reebok deal, the body armor stuff they got going on. Like the UFC's got some money. They just sold for like $4 billion, so they got to make some of that money back. But man, they made out like bandits. It seems like
Sprint, Metro, PCS, they got that deal. I mean, man, this is crazy, man. The money that they get, dude. You know what?
The video game,
yeah, the video game, the freaking you know, autograph signings, man. Where they at? You know, they put people there, and you know, they sell stuff at the autograph signings.
The Fox deal.
Man, UFC, them the pimps, and the fighters, them the hoes.
100%, man.
Pimps
but
and
it's
hoes.
not nice to say it like that, but it's.
Well, I even tell you this, man. The fighters they get pimped out, but you know, you can take the UFC's gate, man. You know that they can take their gate, give everybody a pay raise, and still have enough money hand over fist to make millions of dollars in one UFC fight night. I'm sorry, in one pay-per-view event. They could take the gate, dude. Their gate, they don't even pay out. Look, their gate is more than what they pay the fighters, man. You know, that's this is crazy, you know. And depending on the fighter contract, you know, it could be a little bit more, but man, it is highway robbery, man. It's highway robbery.
Yeah, one of these, I mean, I don't know when it's gonna come, but one of these days, one of these little project spearheads, or you know, Randy Couture's like trying to get the Ali Act expanded. One of these days, something's gonna give. Something's gonna give one of these days. You know, the NFL, and there's like a lot of, you know, you see NFL and NBA players like watching the UFC. You see these other guys that are already making millions, and they're watching the UFC. There's a lot of fighters that don't give a damn about the NBA, the NFL, or any of that. But all of these people are watching the UFC, and they're the ones making the least.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And then these fighters, man, when they go and they do like little interview shows, and people want to talk to them, they got all these fans. But man, some of these fighters, man, they thinking about, you know, shoot, man, I wonder where my next paycheck coming from. You know, I got to go make some money. Even Chris Cyborg, before she started making the paydays that she making now, man, look, Chris Cyborg did Zuma classes. Chris Cyborg trained fighters part-time. I mean, she even did weight loss classes. You know, homegirl had to hustle, man. Like, she had to hustle. Amanda Nunes had to hustle before she started making the money, man. Like, it's like they got to hustle, you know? All of them got to hustle, you know? Felice Herrick, she had to have a little side hustle going on.
And then people wonder why when fighters get the belt, they start trying to make the money moves, you know, and they want the money fights. It's like, well, because if I ain't got the belt, then I'm going back to the fighter's hustle, the fighter's struggle. Why you got that belt? It's your time to try and get pay-per-view points. Because once you go back to losing the belt, you're just a fighter again. Back to the hustle, back to, you know, maybe coaching, doing what you got to do. So you got to try and get it while the getting's good when you become a champion.
I don't think the fighters know. I think some of the fighters are conscious. You know, some of the fighters are awake. Conor McGregor was awake. You know, I thought Ronda Rousey was awake. I think they knew how much they were worth. I think Chris Cyborg became awake, you know, because they were trying to pay her peanuts for fighting Holly Holm, and Chris was like, no, because you guys are gonna make like a buttload of money, and you want to pay me $150,000. You know, no, that's not happening. So I think Chris Cyborg, they're awake. Holly Holm's awake. They know that they can get far more money. They know, but then these other fighters coming in, they just happy to be in the UFC, man. They just happy. Oh, I signed a UFC contract. Damn, I done made it in life. And then when they get that first payout and recognize, dang, I got to pay my manager. Okay, the UFC gonna take their cut. Then, you know, I got to pay taxes. So you leaving the fighter with what, maybe 60%, 55% of, you know, what they got. That's it, man. That's not a lot of money.
And some fighters, some of them, they're like you said, they're just happy to be in the UFC. And what reminded me of that is Curtis Blades after he beat Mark Hunt, you know, in the post-fight press conference. He was like, you know, I feel a little disrespected because, you know, this is like my 4th or 5th fight in the UFC, and I'm still not in the UFC video game. And some people are saying, well, you ain't going to get paid for being in it anyway, so you should kind of be happy that you ain't in it yet because they're ripping you off when you're in it. But as a fighter, he's just like, man, when I go home and play the UFC, I want to play myself. I'm in the UFC. I get it. We're probably getting ripped off. Who cares? I'm a fighter. I'm fighting. I want to play as myself. And, you know, but honestly, the fighters that are in the game are probably getting taken advantage of a little bit. And that's just going off the other sports. You know, they should probably get not 0%.
Wow. Well, yeah, man.
And as far as the video game goes, it might not be 0%. Like I said, I think it's a small scale, but I think it's pretty small as far as the video game is concerned. I think I heard some stats like as many times as your character gets picked, something like that, but it's pretty small.
Yeah, man, they don't make a whole lot. The UFC though, They make money hand over fist. The developer of the video game make hand over fist. The programmers,
they just
the
announced
artists.
a deal with Mark Wahlberg's like performance enhanced. Like they're announcing deals.
Yeah, and then these fighters, man, who the one doing the work? If the fighters actually went out on a strike, man, if they were willing to go that far, they can make.
That's a great. You remember what? That's what it happened like in the NBA, like the lockout. But the thing is, for a strike to happen, the fighters would have to be like unified. You know, like if Conor McGregor don't go on a strike, you know, if you don't have the biggest stars, like it can't just be like you remember when TJ Dillashaw and TJ Dillashaw and GSP and all those guys came out with that MMA union, but you can't just have 5 fighters because the UFC can say, all right, well, you guys, we'll just have someone else fight in your place. It's got to be everybody together, or else the UFC will just replace the people. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, you know, it's got to give. But when you said a lockout, that's what I think started moving and shaking things in the other sports. So we might have to see like some crazy lockout sometime in the future. But for that to happen, I think there's got to be some unity. And it's hard to do that in an individual sport.
And you're going to have some tap dancing fighters, man, that, no, but it's so good. I don't want to, no, I can't, no. You're going to have some fighters like that they're not going to follow suit. They're not going to try. And you'll have the ones that do it, but those are the ones that'll risk everything. And you won't have your major stars. They're not going to do it. You know, they ain't going to do it, you know, because they like the 6 figures. They like it, you know.
Yeah, I just started making 6 figures. Whoa. Don't put me in this.
Yeah, and they don't know that they're so much more worth more. But
yes.
I think McGregor understood it. Like, you know, dude, look, let me tell you how these fighters are silly, okay? And all these fighters in the UFC, how they silly. Why is it that Floyd Mayweather can open his mouth and already they're throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at Floyd Mayweather to fight in the UFC in a fight against a nobody, literally. And if he fought Conor McGregor, he'll be a billionaire. So do you understand what these fighters, they just don't get it? And I realize it's Floyd, but Floyd, a boxer, he can come into your sport, make more money than you ever made in 3,000-4,000 lifetimes. But he's telling you, okay, you got, and Floyd said this before, that look, these fighters, they're not getting what they deserve. He said it. He said they throw them in a cage, they take all kind of beatings, and then these guys come out broken when they came in, you know. And Floyd Mayweather said this, and I thought that was powerful. And I'm not a Floyd fan, but you know, it is powerful because he recognized that he can go into their sport and make $500 million if he wants to. That's crazy. But these fighters don't know that. These fighters don't know that. At least they can get $5 million, man. They can get $3 million, at least at the minimum. But they don't realize that they can get that.
And some of them do, though. Demetrius Johnson is like, look, I'll fight TJ Dillashaw in a champion versus champion super fight. That's a bigger fight than normal. And not to mention Demetrius Johnson's pound for pound #1, most title defenses. But the UFC just came out and said that we can't see Demetrius Johnson versus TJ Dillashaw. And it's looking like because Demetrius Johnson is asking for too much money. It's like, okay, yeah, he might not be the biggest draw out there, but how can you talk about paying Floyd Mayweather hundreds of millions and Demetrius can't get like 1 million, 2 million, the best, most skilled fighter in your sport? He's talking about a champion versus champion super fight, and he can't even get 2 million. But Floyd's talking about $500 million in the UFC. How you going to explain that, Coach?
How they going to explain that? I don't know. I don't know how they going to explain it, because you can't explain it. Like, it's these fighters are robbery, man. And these guys, man, I didn't know, man, because I was looking at one article, man, a Forbes article. You know, in a good year in the UFC, they can make over $800 million in a year. Dude, that's money. And if you go down to pay raise, I looked at a pay for all the fighters that's in there currently. Dude, they don't even pay 10% of that out to the fighters. They don't even get 10% of that, man. Like, it's staggering. It's staggering how much money they make hand over fist. God, dog.
And then think about it, like the fighters are what make the UFC, because how many organizations are there? You know, every single state's got a fighting organization, the Alaska Fight Club, the New Mexico Fight Promotion, the AFL, the BFR, but those aren't the UFC because they don't have Conor McGregor. They don't have Tyron Woodley. They don't have Demetrius Johnson. They don't have Cowboy Cerrone. They don't have these fighters. It's not just about being the UFC. It's about who you have. And so, but like, it's the UFC that's, so yeah, definitely. I mean, we could probably talk for 18 hours about how the fighters, what's going on right now with the fighters. But the only thing that I can see happening is some sort of unity. But the thing about that in an individual sport is, like you said, the champions aren't going to come out and sacrifice their six-figure, throw themselves on the chopping block because I don't know. It's tough.
And that's why, you have a lot of fighters that don't have any nuts, man. And I'm gonna just put it out there. And by the way, guys, it's like 40-something y'all in here, man. Y'all smash that like button, man. Come on, smash the like button. My boy full-time MMA in here, I want this thing to go out. People, go subscribe to his channel. A lot of y'all are subbed, man. So guys, we're having a great conversation, fight talk. Man, this I'm enjoying every bit of this, man. Smash that like button, guys. Smash it. Yeah, man. Well, I feel bad for the fighters, man, but somebody in the comment section asked, and I'm going to go ahead and relay that to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Francis Ngannou is going to come back stronger?
Yeah, I think he's going to come back a lot stronger than everybody's expecting. People, like, after he lost to Stipe Miocic, man, they acted like he doesn't belong in the UFC. It's like they forget that he's a heavyweight. They forget that he had wins before that. They forget that every fight's not going to be a 5-round fight. He's going to learn how to conserve his energy. Hell, we saw Conor McGregor run out of energy before and gas out. What do you have to do? Say, oh, maybe I don't want to go crazy in the first round next time. Francis Ngannou, he's going to be coming back. He's probably going to be fighting 3-round fights. It's not like every single heavyweight is Stipe Miocic. I mean, the heavyweight division isn't the most stacked. He's coming back and looking at fighting maybe a Derek Lewis. If Francis Ngannou touches any of these guys and puts them to sleep, everyone's right back on the train. But everyone's acting like he's just chopped liver. Like everybody's going to take him down. Everybody's going to gas him out. And I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to impress a lot of people that think that. And then not to mention the way that Stipe Miocic beat Francis Ngannou, it's not like he dodged a lot of shots in the first round, but it wasn't the most entertaining performance. Stipe Miocic had to fight smart, kind of like Tyron Woodley when he fought Wonder Boy. It wasn't the most entertaining performance in the end because he had to fight smart. You can't just at any moment you can get knocked out messing around with somebody like Wonder Boy or somebody like Francis. So he had to fight smart, but I think Francis is going to come back, and I think he's going to conserve his energy, and it might be a 3-round fight, and I think he's going to knock out a couple more dudes. I don't think he's done.
I think Stipe outsmarted him, man. I think because he hit Stipe a couple of times, man, and Stipe felt him. He was like, "Yo, I can't stand with this dude. I better not try." Because when he hit him, I was like, "Oh, he rocked him, man." Because Ngannou got that one shot. Man, it's just he hit you one time, that's it, man. And Stipe was real smart, man. He was smart to test the guy's wrestling, which it wasn't up to par. Stipe did exactly what he did. He warmed down, man. He warmed down. He got into him mentally, made Francis Ngannou just fight the fight that he didn't want to fight. He forced Ngannou to the ground. Ngannou couldn't get up, okay? He couldn't do anything against those takedowns and that ground. He couldn't do it, man. And Stipe fought a smart fight. He wasn't in there trying to bang with Ngannou. That's stupid, man, because you're going to lose that exchange. And sometimes when I look at Ngannou, I almost think, man, this dude should have been a boxer, man. Like, I really, really think that he should have been a professional boxer, and he would probably, I think he'd do better in boxing than he would in MMA. It's just, I don't know. Are they working the ground game with the guy, man? I mean, you could probably answer that.
I've always thought boxing was more cardio intensive than MMA. So I figured if maybe, I don't know about Francis's cardio in boxing. Maybe I'm wrong though there, but his ground game though, he fought Curtis Blades before. This is the thing, Curtis Blades is a very high level wrestler, and Francis Ngannou, people act like he has no grappling, but he's also won fights via submission. I mean, I forget the guy's name. He submitted a guy with a standing Kimura. He just got the Kimura while they were standing and threw him to the ground, and he won with the submission. So it's not like he has no jujitsu, and it's not like he can't get off of his back. Being that powerful, he's going to be able to get up. But my only thing about Francis is probably just learning how to conserve his energy. I mean, yeah, I'm sure his wrestling can use a little bit of work, but I don't think it's as bad as it looked versus Stipe. Because also going into that fight versus Stipe, it was probably his first round fight. for sure the biggest moment he had been in. You know, a title fight, the main event. I mean, he had big performances like when he knocked out Overeem, but there wasn't all the hype going into the Overeem fight. When he knocked Overeem out, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Francis!" But when he fought Stipe, it was the first time he actually had to fight since having all of that pressure on him. And then, you know, the cardio. So I think Francis Ngannou still has a lot of – I think he's still going to come back in a major way, actually. Because if he fights Derek Lewis, how would you see that fight going? I could see him knocking out a lot of these guys. Mark Hunt, like a lot of these heavyweights can get knocked out. It's the heavyweight divisions. Yeah, there's only one Stipe right now.
Derek Lewis don't have no cardio, man. And if you hit him in the body, it's pretty much a wrap for Derek Lewis, man. And I know he can't take body shots. And he tried to say, well, you know, he what did he say?
Back issues.
Yeah, he can't take a body shot, man. And I peeped that out. I'm like, nah, dude, you can't take a body shot. And everybody and their mama now, when they fight Derek Lewis, they should be targeting that midsection. And I'm talking about giving him kicks, man, swift kicks to the body, making this dude pay when he get in there. Don't let him get his shots off. Don't let him do nothing. Kick this dude in his damn body and make him sit back and wish, man, that, oh crap, I really do need to be on the toilet taking a dump right now instead of in this octagon.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Francis, you know, he can pick if you put him in there with Derek Lewis, which a lot of people want to see that fight. There's still quite a few heavyweights that Francis Ngannou can get a W against. Now, can he beat Stipe if he connects? Just like the first fight, if he connects. But you know, he's gonna have to fight smarter, conserve his energy. But I don't think he's, you know, a lot of people honestly acted like Ngannou was just complete, like, oh, why is he even in the UFC? He looks like he's never wrestled in his life. It's like, no, he's still can knock guys out, and he's still won via submission. But yeah, he got outsmarted in that fight, maybe, you know what I'm saying, versus Stipe. Stipe had a really good game plan.
Yeah, Stipe did. Overeem did not. Man, this knockout, I got it on the screen. I saw Overeem's soul just leave his body. This man was flying above his body. He had an out-of-body experience in there. Okay, he was literally damn near decapitated. Why is this man still fighting? I mean, how the hell is he going to explain still getting in the octagon, getting his ass knocked out like this? I mean, maybe you can explain it.
You just, you know, for sometimes fighters, they don't know when to say no, and you don't want to go out like that. You know, you don't want to go out like that. He would look. The picture you got is a meme. They got health bars up there like it's a video game. You can't go out like that. You know, you got to get one more. Even if you would rather get wrestled down by a Curtis Blades and not be an entertaining fight. I just don't think you want to go out like that. That's probably what it is. He might even be ready to go out. He might have been like, all right, I'm too old for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Lethal Weapon. He might be feeling like that, but you just can't go out like that. You know, that's my thought.
I mean, man, you know, I'm thinking like Street Fighter. Oh, you get, you know, dang, you know, Ken with that fire fist.
That's exactly what that is.
Like, he took knockout to another level, man. Like, he took, like, damn, dog.
That's exactly what that is.
Do you see this, man? Like, Overeem was actually asleep standing up, man. Look at this, man. Damn. Dude, every time I see this, it looked painful, man. It just looked like this guy, and how he got up. Why is this man still talking? Why is this guy still talking to anybody? What the hell?
He's got a tough fight on his hand too versus Curtis Blades, man, coming up at UFC 225.
Hey, man, we need to save Overeem life. Let's boycott his fight. Let's boycott this damn fight. Let's save his damn life, man. Somebody need to tell him, look, man, it's over. You 38 years old. Okay, you know, you got your ass knocked out last time you're in there. And, dude, them knockouts, you know, dude, them things add up, man. This is not good. I really have to wonder if his health is – I wonder if his health is good. Like, I wonder if it is, man. He can't be, man. It's just – dude, he got knocked the hell out, man. I can't – I'm sorry. Let me stop dwelling on that. Damn.
Yeah, that's definitely some damage, man. But, yeah, you don't want to go out like that, but – yeah, probably sometime soon. And Overeem, you know, he's got a big enough name. He's a legend in the game. He really don't have too much to prove to anybody. I'm sure he would like to fight for the title again, but after that, who knows if that's going to happen. So, you know, maybe one more fight, maybe two, but you definitely can't go out like that.
Okay, so to a couple of our last topics, man, and then you're a busy guy, man. We'll hook back up again, but man, okay, my girl, Guitar Babe, she made reference to the Jackson Winklejohn curse. Are you familiar with the Jax Wink MMA curse?
Yes, I've heard about it. I heard that they lost like coming into the year, something like 16 straight fights, something crazy. I mean, I haven't been keeping up to date with it, but I know somewhat about it.
It's exactly 24 fights, but you close.
Ooh.
24 fights. 24 fights. I think
and this is all Jackson Wink UFC fighters.
Jackson Wink. I think they had one guy break the curse and he actually won, but that's like one fight out of the last 25 fights, man. So they on a 24 fight losing epidemic.
Do you think it's because they got so much notoriety and they became known as one of the best? You know how a champion can get content, like we're the best, I'm the best, and there's somebody else out there that's hungrier, that's grinding, that's trying to become the best. And now you see all of these other training camps like Elevation, and they're using science and crunching the numbers and doing all of this craziness. Do you think that with the success of John Jones and Holly Holm, maybe the camp got a little content, like we're the best of the best? I mean, maybe got a little lax or something?
Okay, my sir, Mr. Full-Time MMA, and I will say Mr. Full-Time because you deserve that. Mr. Full-Time. John Jones necessarily did not escape the Winklejohn curse. The man can't stay clean. He's always in trouble. Hit and run. Look, man, that curse is real. Now, I'm not saying that Jackson Wink was the cause of him doing all those bad things. No, I'm not saying that, but damn, it's kind of suspicious. Now you got Sarah Kaufman over there, who is a great fighter, but she's not in the UFC. Who should very well be in the UFC right now. Should be there. She was, and all of a sudden she mysteriously disappeared when she went to the gym at Jackson Winklejohn. What happened? Like, see, you just got to look at all these people. And then you got Holly Holm. Like, she on a 4 fight? Like, she done lost 4 of her last 5. Like, you remember Holly Holm was like the sensation, winning fights. And it's like, now, man, she can't buy a fight. She can't do anything. I mean, she won a fight against Cachoeira that I thought Cachoeira was actually winning, leading the fight. And she got Betch. Man, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Speaking of Holly Holm, man, does she have any injuries, or is she just spending her Cyborg money right about now? I haven't heard about her any fights with Holly Holm anytime recently.
Well, she won a rematch with Cyborg, which I could understand why she won a rematch. I can see why she went 5 rounds with Cyborg. She went all 5 rounds. She made it interesting. She kept her footwork in motion. She didn't win in my book. She didn't really win around, but you can see that there's levels to this. Like, people were really touting Yana. Hey, Yana, she trains with Holly. Yeah, I mean, it'd have been a good selling point to sell the fight, but everybody with some common sense knew Yana wasn't winning. Okay, they called Tanya Evinger a hater. What Tanya just hating because Yana, Cyborg beat up Tanya. And then Yana cheated in a fight against Tanya Evinger. But Evinger was being honest. Tanya said, look, that girl don't have the skill set to deal with Cyborg. I know. I fought both of them. That's what Tanya said.
Yeah, I saw that interview. She said she's just taking it for I think Cyborg's going to get her out of there quick. And that this girl's taking the, fight pretty much just for the payday like I did.
Yeah, that's what happened, man. She got paid. She when she got back up off the canvas, she was $100,000 richer, Hell, I think I'd do that.
And that's what I'm saying. Holly Holm, she got a little more than that. Like you said, she got pay-per-view. She might have made a couple million. I think she might be spending that Cyborg money right about now.
Yeah, Holly Holm. Yep. And then
but when she comes back, who do you think she should fight? Do you think it should be the Cyborg rematch, or do you think Holly Holm should try and get back at the bantamweight title?
Man, look.
Because Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm is one of the only fights, that's people might not want to see it right now because they don't feel like Holly Holm should get an immediate title shot. But out of all, especially the fact that Holly Holm is a draw, I'm sure Amanda Nunes would like to get in there with Holly Holm. And I got to admit, I kind of want to see Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm, but I don't know about Holly Holm getting an immediate title shot. But do you think she would rather fight Cyborg next or possibly go back to bantamweight? Or what do you think she should do?
She'd probably rather fight Cyborg and get another payday. I think she'd rather do that, man. It'll make money sense because Holly at the end of her career, man. Holly's at the end of her career. You know, how many more fights do you realistically think she have? And look, man, I want you to look at this, okay? Like, how many, you know, if she keep getting, I don't want to say it, effed up. If she keep getting effed up like this, man, there's no way because, you know, people said that Holly was going to, you know, if Chris Cyborg stood with Holly Holm, she would get beat. No, that didn't happen. This is what happened to Holly Holm. How many fights, okay? How many fights can Holly Holm do this? How many more can she do this, okay? I mean, she got her eye messed up, looked like some of her teeth got hurt. Like, Holly Holm took some damage in this fight. And, you know, it's just one of the things, man. She took damage. I think if she fights Cyborg again, man, I think it's going to be worse the second time. I think it is. Like, everybody, they figured out Holly Holm. First of all, she telegraphs her punches, man. She telegraphs them. So, you know, you're tipping people off. She did it to Jermaine. She did it to Valentina. They easily outpointed Holly Holm. Chris Cyborg did the same thing. She took the same blueprint that Valentina and Jermaine did, and she just implemented it, and it worked perfectly. She counterpunched the hell out of Holly Holm. But, you know, that's what she does, man. And see, Holly Holm she don't have a plan B or plan C. She got a plan A. If she can't kick you in the head with the head kick and knock you out, then she's just gonna keep trying until, look, I'm gonna catch you with this head kick. So I don't know, man. I think she really wants the Cyborg fight, but I don't know. I think she might need to take another fight before she fights Cyborg again, because I would actually want to see it. And if she fought Nunes, you know, that'll be an interesting fight because stylistically, Nunes don't move very well. Stylistically, she don't. And that's why I keep saying, and I always break this down. My friends at 10 Players, they told me about this. I talk about the mongoose, the cobra, and the lion, right? So let's just use Cyborg, Holly Holm, and Amanda Nunes, right? Yep. Cyborg would go in there and easily beat Amanda Nunes, but Cyborg would have more problems trying to find Holly Holm. But Holly Holm would actually do better against Amanda Nunes because Amanda Nunes is stationary. Holly Holm can actually stand on the outside and pick Amanda apart, whereas Chris Cyborg isn't going to let Amanda just stand there and get her power shots off. So it's kind of like a triangle where, you know, like the mongoose can beat a cobra, but a cobra can actually defeat a lion. Okay. Then a lion can beat a mongoose. So it's just how the styles match up, you know? It's how the
styles make fights, kind of like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. And stylistically, to be honest, Holly is a bad matchup for Amanda. But, you know, I'm sorry. Holly and Amanda will make a good matchup. Chris Cyborg would easily beat Amanda. And, you know, Cyborg would have problems trying to even deal with Holly's foot movement. But see, Holly Holm, what Amanda would do, since Amanda's more technical, Amanda's going to fight more. She's going to have a better fight against Cyborg. But Holly Holm is going to actually make it it's going to be a more defensive fight where Chris Cyborg can't get the offense like she can against Amanda. Yeah, I mean, if you understand what I'm saying, I ain't trying to mess your head up or confuse anybody. I hope you get it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking about Holly Holm versus Amanda Nunes right now. Like that's part I was really focusing on. Holly Holm, because you know, I was just thinking about the perfect fight I think would be Holly Holm versus Ketlen Vieira if Holly Holm's trying to fight anytime. I think that'd be a good #1 contender fight. I mean, of course, you know, and I agree with you, you know, when you say, no, Amanda Nunes has to get that work from Cyborg first. You talked about it. You got to be about it. I want to see Nunes versus Cyborg. But if for whatever reason Amanda Nunes is trying to stay at 135, you know, she's talked about Ketlen Vieira next. And I seen Cyborg actually object to that. She was like, oh, whoa. If you're fighting a Brazilian, it's going to be me. Hold on, sweetie. So, but I think if Amanda Nunes wants to stay at 135, I think Holly Holm versus Ketlen Vieira would be a good #1 contenders fight. Because I would honestly like to see Nunes versus Holly Holm at 135, I think. Because that's one of the only people at 135 that's a top contender that hasn't really fought Amanda Nunes yet, aside from like Ketlen Vieira.
Man, it's gonna be a war if that happened. Because see, Rocky Pennington was able to call the UFC and get her title shot secured. She called because she was pissed off that Cyborg was going to be fighting Amanda next, and Rocky was like, "Heck no!" I think Marion Renaud, the winner of that fight, and Ketlen Vieira, I think they're gonna raise hell, and I think that they'll be within their right to do it because they're gonna.
Oh, are they fighting?
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? It hadn't been announced yet, but I'm telling you now, you're gonna hear it here first. Marion Renaud is gonna fight Ketlen Vieira. Okay, I'm just telling you.
Hey, I'm down for that fight. This sounds like a good fight. #1 contender fight.
That fight's gonna happen. Okay, Marion Renaud is gonna fight Ketlen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. But those two are going to fight for the #1 contendership. And whoever wins that fight, you know, they're going to want their title shot. They're going to want it. And if they get skipped over or they have to fight Holly Holm, both of them are going to be pissed off. See, since Holly Holm has already beaten Marion, I would actually say, you know, Holly Holm would have an advantage. But this is another Marion Renaud that fought her from 2 years ago. This version of Marion Renaud is good. Much, much better, has evolved. I think Ketlin Vieira beats Holly Holm. I don't know. You know, I think Ketlin can beat Holly Holm, and I think Marion and Ketlin, that's going to be a good fight too. So, but whoever wins that matchup, they getting a title shot against Amanda. They're going to get it. Or whoever wins between her and Rocky. Either way, they getting a title shot. That's how it is, man.
All right. Well, sounds good, man. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we got out of here?
Man, nah, man. Anything else you want to touch on, man? You got anything? Because, you know.
No, I think we're good. Maybe we can do this again sometime soon. I had fun. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for having me on.
Nah, thanks for just coming, man. Cause I've been asking for a while, man. And you just said, yeah, man, I'll come on. I was like, man, thank you. I'm glad he came on, man.
Yes, sir.
But man, I appreciate you, man. Definitely. Thank you for coming, man. We got to do this again next weekend, man. Or, you know, whatever days you got to tell me your schedule, man. Cause I want to work around your schedule.
All right. Well, I'm usually open, man. Taco Bell Wani. I'm always active, like area, you know, 24 hours. Yeah, I love that name, man. Taco Bell Wani. But all right, man. Thanks for having me on.
So the trolls gave you that name, huh?
Yeah, and it's like my favorite name ever.
You know, at least they give you good names, man. They give me names like bitch. Oh, hey man, I get all kind of names, man.
I've got some other ones. I got like full-time toilet cleaner. You know, they make fun of me because I'm a custodian and stuff. I got I got a couple. I got a couple of them that I don't like as much as Taco Bell Wani, but I'll take Taco Bell Wani though. I'll take that one on the chin.
Oh, so you like Taco Bell?
Man, don't make me give them a sponsorship. Yeah, I got a Taco Bell cup right here. No, it's not even about that though. I do, but no, it's just I like the name because I'm fat and I'm like the fat area Hawani Taco Bell. I just think it goes good together.
Oh, man. Hey, you definitely got it going though, man. Appreciate you, bro. This the Taco Bell guy, man. Okay, but guys, I'm finna go ahead and catch some of this Invicta, and I got another interview that I'm posting with you guys. Man, the interviews are rough, man. They're rough on me, man. They take a lot out you, but man, I like doing them.
All right. Well, thanks again, Coach.
Man, thank you, guys. On behalf of Full-Time MMA, I'm Coach Shelton Harrison. Thank you all, everybody in the comment section. Keith Brown, Tay Brown, George Page, music playlist. Thank you, guys. Guitar Babe 21 and Keith Brown. Thank you for the super chat dollars. Guys, we'll be seeing y'all. Good night.